you going? It's LadyChann rep nonetheless, and welcome to Come Box with Shan. It's the weekly wrap-up show. Actually, let me just make a little adjustment here. No, it's not adjustment. Adjustmently. No such word. How are you guys doing? ¿Cómo estás, mi gente? Hang on. Got to put this. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we fucking go. We got LaShawn McCall in the building. AJ in the building. My sister Queen Lisa Bales in the building. You know how we do. We're in the building. Yeah, you know, people come trickling through. We start. We do our thing. Everyone's on at times where sometimes it can clash if you have got sometimes the same audience or similar audience members. So, you know. It's my sound in the building. Let me know. It's my sound in the building. That's all. My mic in the building. Yeah. Hair in the building. Right. I thought, let me go for a more of a poofy type of vibe. You know what I mean? Okie dokes. Okay, I'm reloaded. My mouth's so big, isn't it? It's crazy. Okay, let me see. Is it how much lighting? I just got to make sure that my lighting isn't too bright. Hang on, because sometimes it can be a bit glarish. How do I look like this? Yeah. Is that better? Less glary? Less glary? Because sometimes these lights be strong. I've got one here. I don't even turn on that third one over here. Let's see if one second. If I warm up the tone a little bit. Yeah. That other one does all different colours. I can't be bothered with the rigmarole. Okay. Let's go. Let's introduce who we introducing. I'm still playing with hair. Don't you just love that you could throw on a wig, right? And you're a different person, or add extensions, you're a different person. Crochet, you're a different person. It's amazing. That's why I like visuals. That's the type of person I am. Ooh, that's a nice comment. Thank you. I'm new to your channel, but you're beautiful. Love eyes. Thank you. But you should see me when it's not all glammed up and it's just like, you know me. You'll see on my my news thing. You know, I got my headscarf on. I'm like, hi guys. So today, it's done up for the shows, but massively appreciated. I appreciate that. That's nice of you to say. And AJ is confirming that. AJ, you're always complimentary. You make me blush. Stab it. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to start introducing people. I'm introducing. Introducing. Ken. Ding. What's up, Ken?
How you doing? You okay?
I'm all right. I'm not too bad. Are you shocked that I'm on time, Ken? I was on time.
Not really. You did say 9:45. You're on time, innit?
Yeah.
I've just looked at the subjects.
Yeah.
Like I said, nice little subjects. I think the biggest, the second one's a massive contradiction terms by people in boxing. I actually, believe it or not, I was at the Arsenal game yesterday and I spoke to a certain Kugan Cassius.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
What's
Me and
Kugan
Kuzi,
saying?
I speak to him a lot of time at football.
Yeah. What's
We're both
Kuzi
doing
saying?
Yeah.
What's he saying?
Me and him disagreed. Me and him agreed on a lot of things except for one subject. I'll save that for the show.
Okay. All right. Let me introduce. Shouts out to Kugan Cassius. So you out here to disagree? It wouldn't be a fun world if everybody agreed, even though we want them to sometimes. But hey, all right. Let's get. I'm introducing. 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 AJ Alex. Ding, 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 ding. What up, though? What do you do with the phone?
Good.
Really good. I know that has been cracking me up in the group. Good.
What's good, Kenny? What's good, LadyChann? How y'all doing?
What's goody? What's goody? Let me get on to still introduce a couple more people.
Go ahead.
Good. That's gonna kill me for the rest of the show. I've been laughing.
I'm gonna keep doing that now as a running gag. I gotta keep that shit up.
I've been laughing since you did drop it. It's hilarious. Anyway, I'm introducing. Introducing. Good. Very good. Sister Lisa Bale. See, we gave you the remix. Ding, 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 ding. What up, Queen?
Lisa.
How y'all doing? How you doing?
What's up, sis?
What's good?
No, Lisa.
Chilling.
We've got another person in the building. So let's go. Kenny got the slow down introducing. Lisa got the remix introducing with the good, very good. I don't know how to choose. I don't know how to change this one, but we'll just do what we do. I'm introducing. Introducing. Changed it a little bit.
Good.
South Londoner, good in the bill. Dizzy, what up, Dow? What's up, my G?
Oi.
Yo.
In the house.
In the bill, Dizzy. Oi. We say, oh. Those raving days, weren't they good when they existed?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they was good. Thank you for joining. Everybody, thank you for coming and joining little old on the panel, El Panel. Thank you very much. It's massively appreciated that you guys are all here in the building. So, as we can see, okay, let me just shout out people. St. Don in the building. Toby Bartlett in the building. Fish in the building. Silvestri, everything's good, Silvestri, because you're in the building. Nasir Clark in the building. Malcolm Marcel in the building. Eric Gomes, salute in the building. It's Bomb Squad in the building. Thank you for joining me, sir.
Yeah.
In the building. So, yeah. All right. So let's get it popping. All right. So we're going to start with old Gary Russell Jr. Old Gaza. Oh, Gaza, what have you done, Gaza? What have you done? You've come with some Teofimo Lopez-esque stuff.
Come on, Chan. Yeah. We all know he beat that boy.
No, let me start. Okay, so now that you said that, let me just get this microphone on how it's supposed to be. Okay.
He's moving like Adrian Broner.
Is it a PBC thing? That's what it is, I think. Them lot mad over there, boy. Them PBC.
It's a sore loser
fighters.
thing. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's a sore loser thing. It always comes from the PBC lot, though. So my opinion. This is my opinion. This is from what I could do a rewatch, and then I could do an accurate round point score. I thought, but I get it. I thought that Gary Russell Jr. won the fight. Okay. Listen, everyone. Yeah, I did. But it was a very close fight. So I gave Gary Russell Jr. just on loose eye test. I'd give him 7 rounds to 5. Okay. If there was a draw, I wouldn't have moaned with that. With Magsayo winning, I'm not moaning with that. All 3 ways for me, I wouldn't have moaned. If it was a draw, Gary got the decision or Magsayo got the decision. I honestly wouldn't have complained. And as you saw, the judges' scorecard, 1 scored it a draw, the other 2 only a round up for Magsayo. So is it a robbery? No, it was just a close fight. So I was never down with this. It's a robbery thing, okay? So just to let y'all know. But I did think he won. And yes, people but he didn't have his jab, no point scoring. Yeah, but he had his straight left. He had his straight left. That was his jab. He would pop it. And when he popped it, Magsayo would run into that near enough every single time and never adjusted. But then when you look at the compu box, did Magsayo seem to land more shots versus Gary's 60 to his 160? I couldn't tell that there was 160, but who am I? I'm not a computer. But do computers fail? Yes. But could the computer be right? Yes. But in my opinion, Gary substituted his jab that he couldn't do with his right arm with the lefty. But should Gary have come in injured? He already... and let me tell you, I predicted Magsayo to win split decision. That's what my prediction was, right? So it's not like I'm trying to be biased. Oh, Gary won, in my opinion, because I predicted that Gary's to win. No, I predicted, because I've only seen Magsayo fight once, and I called that fight back in August with, what was it, Sayar?
Yeah, that was on Pacquiao undercard. Yeah,
he was down. Whose undercard was it on?
Pacquiao Ugas.
Yeah, that's it. And he was down on the scorecards. Magsayo, he was down on the scorecards.
Oh, he was losing. I mean, which is
he
crazy.
Was losing.
He dropped Sayar in the first round, then he got dropped himself and was losing.
Yeah, and then he got the stoppage, KO.
Yeah, pulled that out of nowhere.
Yeah, out of nowhere. So I always knew he was a big puncher. With the things that were going into the show was Gary Russell Jr. with his bag of excuses that I knew was going to be. No, there were some were reasons and one was an excuse. I'm going into the fight injured, but I'm not going to tell you until after the fight. Now, I think he wanted to win the fight and go, I won the fight really one-handed because my shoulder. But it kind of backfired that you didn't get the decision. Don't mention it if you're not going to mention it. Like, don't mention it. You could have just said after the fight what happened, because we could clearly see from round 3 that, his right shoulder was out of commission. Okay? So, but in my opinion, he still did well and he still won. But I'm not averse to anybody saying, Chan, you're chatting shit. My guy won. Chan, I saw it was a draw. I've got loads of people saying that. Different things. Draw, whatever. I had it across the board and everybody was quite respectful. Nobody was like, yeah, everybody saw it all different ways. I'm not mad at it. But then, obviously, Gary Russell Jr. missing weight. My G, you're 33. Making 26 is a bit of a hassle for you. You're supposed to go up to 30. Your inactivity, you've had like 6 fights in 7 years. Bad. Okay, so usually when you're weight drained or whatever, he come in looking better hydrated. But on when he made weight on the scale, his head looked massive, and he just looked really drained. And I just thought, oh my God, he could get dropped because of his punch resistance could even be affected. But he was fine. Couple shakes, they both got shaken up, but nothing major. So I thought Magsayo will beat him for that reason. Then he said he self-trained himself.
He what now? Wait, he what now?
He self-trained himself for this fight. So I said, no, boy, no, you're losing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, even though he had his bro in the corner, but you know. And then you had reasons that bless his dad. His dad had his foot amputated due to a diabetical complication, and I thought there was a death as well in his family, but I'm not sure.
I think his brother passed.
Yeah, as
Had
well.
a heart attack. Yeah, so
there was a lot of things that were rooting against Russell Jr. So I was just like, Magsayo, he's messy. He's not technically sound, but he's a big puncher. And as you guys can see, he's a big lad, but he is messy. So that's where I was coming from.
Yeah.
So I'll move it along. Let's start with Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think?
Yeah.
Predictions, what did you think?
I thought the guy's Maxio,
Yeah.
he had more output.
Yeah.
But I was rooting for Gary.
Your prediction was Gary by
split decision.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
But it wound up happening Maxio majority decision.
Yeah.
So somebody got a TV on in the background.
And I think it's your TV.
Is it me?
Huh?
Yeah. Me.
We can hear
it.
Yeah,
that'll come up in your algorithms. Be careful here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I realized.
Yeah, you know why I heard it? Because I got on headphones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
punch output.
I was rooting for Gary, but I saw he came in there with so many forces against him, coming in injured, coming in, he's grieving the death of his brother. He's his dad has been sick with diabetes and foot amputated. So I knew he came in with a lot, and then being on a long layoff, you know what I mean? So like he had a lot of cards were stacked against him. And let's be honest, I don't think, Gary just doesn't have anybody behind him, the machine, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
He just doesn't have even over there where he's at, he couldn't really get like a lot of the fights that he wanted. I heard that Warrington wanted to fight him, but I mean, I'm gonna put that to the side. It's just like a lot of fights that he wanted like to unify, just couldn't get. So it's just unfortunate, but I respect him as a man and as a fighter and as a warrior, and he's a good fighter, and he just wasn't active enough. And sometimes that comes to bite you in the behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You are correct, sis. Kenny Ken, did you watch it at all?
Yeah, I did watch it. I watched it, and I watched it again.
Yeah.
I have to say the right guy won. Yeah, I did notice that there was an injury. In the early rounds, fourth round, I did notice it myself that he was fighting with one hand. Commendably well. But I think, I could see why the judges went one way because of the fact that Mark Magoso was throwing more combos. And for me, he's on the front foot as well. So I could see why a lot of people would say that Gary Russell still, should have retained his title because he fought commendably well. Even though he was fighting one end for about the last seven or eight rounds, he was the one hit what I thought was throwing out probably the better power punches. But again, I'm always being someone who says, you know what, you throw punches like that or fight like that at your peril, because the guy who comes forward and throws the combinations and looks better on the eye will nick the fight off you. You know what I mean? Because when you throw straight punches, you're basically relying on the guy getting neutralized or put down, and then you take control. It's a very hard thing to rely on when it's just one punch straight. No matter how big a punch you are, it's always. So he was at a handicap from that then on. So for me, it was close, but I would have been very surprised if Magoso had lost that fight and the decision gone to Russell's way.
What did you have initial prediction, Kenny Ken, before you watching it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Regardless of the turmoil behind the scenes, I still think that, Gary Russell Jr., I expect him to win. I didn't even expect it to be close. I expect him to win by, like I said, unanimous decision, just on,
Got ya.
on experience, even though he hasn't
Got
fought
ya.
as much as I'd like. I thought of experience carried, but when someone gets the smell of a world title and then they smell a weakness in their opponent, they have to take that opportunity and go. So took that opportunity very well.
Got ya. Thanks, Kenny Ken. AJ, old Jay, what up? What was your thoughts? Prediction first, and then go into what happened after, in your opinion, and what you saw.
My prediction, I picked Gary to win on points. I thought that his skill set alone would be enough to beat Mark. I was very impressed by what I saw. I think that was the first time I saw him fight too on the Pacquiao undercard. I thought it would be an early night when he dropped Seha, but then he started getting, outworked and dropped himself, and he was on his way to lose until he pulled out that knockout. So it tells me, okay, he could punch, he can crack. Now going against it was an obvious choice. Even though Gary had been inactive, I still thought his skill set enough and experience to be enough alone would just be enough to beat Mark. Now, as far as how the fight went, sounds to me, Chan, we got to do a rewatch. Better put that on the list.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I had Mark winning wide, if I'm being honest. It's just that after Gary started strong, but after he got his injury early on, his activity and output just went way, way down. It seemed like he was just trying to survive more or less, because all he was doing really was just, honestly, running for Mark and just trying to just get away, more or less.
Yeah, but Mark wasn't connecting as much.
No. Oh yeah, no. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I mean, but as far as Mark goes, it's like that's what I'm saying. He has a very, very limited fight IQ, because every time he would pin Gary in the corner, he did this several times. He would let Gary pivot and get away.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, and it's like, it's just, here's what Mark would do: tiptoe around, jab, 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 hook, hook, hook. Oh, Gary moves. Tiptoe close, jab, 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 hook, hook, hook. Move away. Watch, rinse, repeat. That's what he kept doing over and over again.
All he was trying to get was that uppercut off, which sometimes it landed and sometimes it didn't.
Yeah, and sometimes it's like, I was saying, like, Gary is there for the taking. Like, Mark could at least drop this guy and knock him out if he connects clean enough, or if he just lets his hands go. You know what I mean? But he just didn't do that. And and I give Gary props for continuing to fight with his injury. You know what I mean? I'm not taking anything away from it, but it seems to me he was trying to survive, and at the end of the fight, he just didn't do enough. He just didn't. So that's why I thought Mark ultimately did win the fight, and I thought the right man got the nod. I thought the judges' scorecards were way, way too close. So you could tell they tried to pull a fast one and rob Mark, but they couldn't do it. So
I don't think they was trying to rob Mark. I just think that they was actually counting how many times that certain judges look for different things. And I think they was like, he was still scoring points. Just because you're on the back foot doesn't mean you're like, okay, some judges may look at it like you're not the the effective aggressor. But as long as you are in contact with your opponent, to me, you're scoring points.
But Mark was the ring general. Mark was the ring general. He was moving Gary around a bit. I felt
Gary
that, like,
had the ring generalship. That's the way I see it. He was better with the ring generalship. We had better ring IQ. Magsayo, there was loads when you saw the replays, how many times Gary blocked some of those shots. So sometimes judges think they connect when they don't. But like I said, I'm across the board with either way of all the wins. So I get it.
He did. I mean, I agree with you. I agree. I agree with you with Derek. He just wasn't. Mark was just doing a lot more. His activity level was way, way more up. That's all. And then compared to Gary's. Yeah. So I mean, but as far as just I mean, it's just, man, it's just kind of it was kind of a boring fight to watch, if I'm being honest. I mean, and Mark seems like a good guy. I don't see him holding on to that belt for long unless the PBC protects him from the other champions. You know what I mean? Because Navarrete will kill this dude. I think he can beat Leo Santa Cruz. I was on Julius's live this morning. So he'll beat Leo Santa Cruz. I think he'll knock him out. I think. Yeah,
he'll knock out possibly Leo Santa Cruz. I like Leo Santa Cruz, but a lot of people don't. Leo Santa Cruz throws punches and bunches. He's quite fast, but I mean, I think that Magsayo that would have a good possibility of beating him, to be honest, as well. So yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, but as far as what was Lisa talking about? Oh God, I lost my train of thought right quick.
Of his adversity that he went through, Gary Russell Jr. just didn't. She said the same thing. She just didn't throw out enough punches, right, sis? Enough punches, enough activity. But he's a warrior, and you know, same thing that we all think of. GR Junior. I want to move it. Thanks, AJ. Can I just move it along to South London? Are you want it?
Oh,
Go
no,
ahead.
I remember now. Just one last thing. I mean, as
Okay.
far as like Gary, it's just that like, you know, I'm not really honestly, you know, losing sleep over Gary losing the belt because he wasn't really going to do anything with anyone. He never did. Now I admit, he wanted to fight the other champs. He wanted to fight Leo
Yeah.
Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz ducked him. I'm acknowledging that. Tank, he wanted to fight Tank. I believe Tank ducked him as well, or you know, Floyd kept Tank away from him. But he could have fought Josh Warrington. He could have done that last year because Eddie sent out that offer and he said that it was beneath his standards. So, you know, so and honestly, I believe he would have beat Josh had he fought him.
Yeah.
But you know, so
me too.
Yeah,
Me too. He would have beat Warrington easy.
And just the stars aligned. The stars aligned on Saturday night, and he lost his title, and that's what happened. You know, so
yeah, I know.
But anyway, not done. You good? You good?
That is how it goes. Okay, South Londoner. Thanks, AJ. South Londoner in the building. What did you see the fight, and did you have a prediction before the fight?
I didn't have a prediction before the fight because I didn't even know they were fighting. But I woke up. I randomly woke up at 4, saw that Ring IQ was having a watch party,
right?
And then I just immediately just turned on the TV and just started watching. And I literally caught the beginning of the fight. So even before they got into the ring walk and everything. So watching the fight, I thought the fight was a draw personally from what I saw. I'm not pissed that the other guy won because you could argue a case for him winning. You could also argue a case for a draw. I wouldn't argue a case for Gary winning because I don't think he did enough to win the fight. But then I don't think the other guy had done enough to resoundingly say, I'm snatching the belts. So I thought it was a draw personally.
Yeah.
I'm watching the fight. Obviously, Gary was doing his thing, but then once he got injured, his activity was less, and he did make him miss an awful lot. Not gonna lie, he made that Mark guy miss a lot of his punches. But the only thing is, I think because some of these boxers, sometimes they're sparring partners, sometimes they become friends, and all of these type of things. And I think he was aware that he got injured, and then once he got injured, he just stopped being. Me personally, I just looked at it as he's no longer serious in hurting him. So I don't think he wanted to hurt him, although he could have. Having said that, am I mad about Gary losing his belts? No, not really, because he doesn't really fight that much for me to get excited about anything that he does. And maybe this loss might give him a little kick up the backside to say, listen, mate, you know, you're a big man, your career's going down the isha, and you need to, you know, step it up and cement your legacy. Because you know, these guys, they always stat pad the thing and they always try to make it seem like they're doing something great. Oh, longest reigning champion, but mate, you're not even fighting anyone. You're just fighting every now and then. You're not really doing anything. You're just keeping the belts hostage. So now that someone's taking it from you, maybe you start working a little bit harder, in my opinion.
Do you think he needs to go up? He does need to go up, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does need to go up, but maybe he's shook of the guys up there. Maybe. I don't know. Like, I don't know why you would want to stay at one weight for so long. Like, and he only holds the one title. Like, I don't know. I'm just confused at why he wants to be a boxer at this point. Because, like, you don't really fight. So, I don't know.
I know. And the thing is, he's a great fighter. And people are like, oh, he should retire. No, he shouldn't. Because what I saw, he still had the skills, mate. If I thought he beat that geezer, the young geezer with one hand, who was 26 years old, with one hand, why does Gary need to retire? What Gary needs to do is speed up his activity, for sure. I don't think he needs to lessen it. Like, he was nearly semi-retired already. So,
Chan, do you actually expect him to do that now that he doesn't have a belt? you know.
Well, if he goes to 30, I don't see him beating Shakur Stevenson.
No, they're not going to fight. They're not going to fight. That's not.
I see him having. Yeah, I know. I see him having. Yeah, that's true. They wouldn't fight because they're all in-house.
Yeah, in-house, and then Shakur's on top rank in ESPN and Gary's PBC and all that. That's not going to happen. I can see him. I can honestly see him fight Chris Colbert because Colbert's got a card. He's fighting next month. He's fighting next month. He's fighting next month, and Colbert is he'll probably win that fight. He's going to beat Gutierrez, I believe. And when he does, then they could probably feed him to Gary next. Then.
I think he could beat Colbert.
You think so?
Gary could. Yeah. Colbert's
pretty good. He's pretty good.
Yeah, no, he is good technically, but Gary's better.
Yeah. Thing is,
Gary's slicker.
I think, just because you're a fighter don't mean you love boxing.
That's true.
You know how many? Because Gary said he doesn't even watch boxing. So I think at this point, I don't know him personally. He could be more so. He could be more so in it for his brothers now and training. So yeah, you'd be surprised. A lot of boxers don't necessarily watch boxing. I've heard a lot of them say that.
I've heard some of them say that.
So,
I heard Larry Holmes say that the other day. Yeah, for real.
Right. They don't eat, sleep, and breathe boxing. So
the inactivity of Gary kills me, man. It really does. Because
but it's his career. You know what I mean? Like we don't know why he's been inactive. He said his hand issues. I also heard somebody say the other day he's been inactive because he could not get the fights that he wanted. So he was like, why even bother? If I can't get to unify or whatever, I'll just, do my Mando. You know what I mean? Like I said before, he doesn't have that machine behind him. And then I think he may have made stuff bad for himself when remember that fight he had? It was a few fights ago. And he had that thing on his back saying something about Al Heyman.
Oh, yeah. It was that shirt he was wearing. Talking about, give me Leo.
He pretty much kind of put himself in a predicament there.
Yeah.
No, that was around the time where we said, Al, give me Leo, or I'm going to go to Top Rank and give me Miguel Burchell. Never did that, by the way. Never did that. So
Right. Yeah. So people saying the Warrington thing, that's just one particular thing, but it's like he did get the Lomachenko fight. They sent Loma over to Showtime, I think.
Yeah, for that because they won the purse bid. Yeah, they won the purse bid when that happened.
Right.
I think that's when Gary was on Golden Boy when PBC hadn't been around yet. That was back in 2014. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it's like the politics. Sometimes we only know what we know, but sometimes the politics, people just get tired.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? Like you become like jaded to the whole thing.
They've had enough of him as well.
Yeah.
And they've had enough of him. So it was easy just to be like, I'll just give the kid,
They wasn't going to do Gary Russell no favors, trust me.
No. And they was probably they was probably happy that he went into the ring with an injury and got re-injured. They were probably like, oh, good, now we can the kid.
Of course they were.
Didn't do himself any favors, old gal, did ya? And
let me ask you guys, what's the most active champions in recent memory? I can name two off my head. What do you guys think?
Active champions in what weight division? Any,
who've been the most active in defending their titles? I can name two. I can name two right now.
Canelo's
Canelo. The most active, and then you would have probably
a champion.
Hang on, let me think.
I know another. Go ahead.
Hang on, let me think.
Go ahead.
Canelo and
I'm going through all the weight cats, and I can't think of who's. Most of them are not that active. I can think of once a year as champions, if that.
Want me to tell you who the other one is? Tevin Farmer.
Oh.
I mean,
but he's not a champion. Oh, okay.
No, not no more. I mean, he won his belt in mid 2018, and then defended it 4 times before the next year in 1 year.
Yeah,
I remember that.
But current champion is only that's as super active. It'd be Canelo.
I mean, just Tevin lost his belt, but I'm just saying. But he wasn't. He wasn't very active champion when he was
active champion after Canelo.
I don't know, man.
They're all they're all kind of once a yearers.
Yeah.
Or twice a year.
Twice a year, yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, since
Not
the
sure.
pandemic, the only person, it's extraordinary that we've had a pandemic for near 2 years, yet
2 years.
Canelo still turn up for work.
Yeah,
He did.
Yeah, man.
I shake his
Yeah,
hand.
but Canelo can do that. He has he got the machine behind him. He can do that.
Well, he's a free agent.
Some of these guys can't do that.
Joshua turned up to work, so
He did.
he turned up to work as well.
But, in essence,
Yeah, but Joshua don't have the full machine behind him.
I would say he does.
I think
no, he doesn't, because he don't have America behind him. No, he doesn't. He doesn't have the U.S. behind him.
But within the pandemic, he still turned up for work. He still
No.
Yeah, he did. He
didn't. Wilder didn't. The other top, only Joshua and I would say Dillian White, they turned up for work.
Right, but I'm talking about the machine. They don't have the machine behind them like that. They do in the UK, but not in the US.
Yeah, and he's got a
Joshua
White
in
the UK, so he doesn't really need the US machine to be successful. Like
he's too. The UK market is big enough for Joshua.
It's big enough to sustain his guarantee and his money.
You know why? It's because Anthony Joshua's a stadium fighter, so that's enough to sustain him. And
we've got our own stadiums that are really big, so we don't need to go over to America and borrow your
football stadiums and the rugby stadiums here.
I mean, if Joshua wanted to expand his fan base, he could come to the US still. I'd be open to that.
He tried it once, he tried it once.
He got beat, and then he ain't been back. So maybe
he can still come out here. I mean, it doesn't mean it's all over. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All I'm saying is it's not instrumental to his career that to make money that he needs to be in the States.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, but
he's being able to turn up to work.
I mean, since it's been mentioned, would you say the US market is a machine at this current time now with boxing?
No, not at all.
Because I'd argue that it ain't.
No, we ain't got any boxing for this whole month, so it's been a bit dry for us here. So
yeah, but
I get that, but that's only because the British Board of Control has basically said because of COVID, like there's going to be no boxing for this particular month.
Yeah.
But I would argue right now, as it stands now, I don't look at the American market and look at it as it's a machine, because what I look at, if it's a machine, then Terence Crawford would be fighting the other brother. What's his name again? Errol Spence. If it's a machine, all these Teofimo Lopez and all these they'll be fighting each other. Look, I
think American boxing is in the worst shape that I've ever seen it for a long time.
It is.
Like, I don't think it's a machine like how it used to be.
Fury. Look at Tyson Fury.
Like, he can't fill up a stadium over there.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Look at ESPN, and they got behind him. That's the machine that I'm talking about.
Yes.
The machine that's losing money.
Having that machine, he still doesn't feel he still doesn't put bumps in seats.
But it's not even about. I'm talking about the positive press. It's bigger than that, guys. That's what I'm talking about. Like, think outside of the box. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. You can have positive press all day, but if that positive press, like me coming from the music industry, if that positive press or that negative press doesn't monetize and make sure that everybody buys into you, it means nothing. And they've absolutely lost money on the PR side. So it doesn't matter if you've got positive press or negative press. He hasn't put bums in seats and he's in big America. Whereas Joshua, whether it's positive or negative, he fills out stadiums that are 80 and 90,000 seaters. 100%. I know which one I'd rather be.
To me, it's just like buying views. They're telling us Fury is this big star in America,
and he's not.
But to me, it's like buying views. Yeah, he's not a big star in America. If he was a big star in America, then he should fight Dillian White in America.
Yeah.
And see if that sells out. It won't.
And go fight Dillian White in Vegas and sell it all out then.
That's like they're trying to convince us Tank Davis is a star, but he isn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So this is what I'm saying.
I mean, like if Tank was to go to if he was to come to California, right? Whoa.
What happened?
That's not me.
Who
No, it's Lisa.
that one? Me. Everything good?
The only
Yeah.
person who has a certified following in America right now is Canelo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
guy that has a certified following.
Yeah, but
He can go on.
Yeah. So sorry, go ahead.
And I think his following is organic. So he doesn't really necessarily need all these companies to pump all this money into him. He can jump on any platform and his fan base just follows him wherever he goes. He
He's
can
got
Yeah,
fight
enough
in
he's
any
got a
customers.
country.
country behind him. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's got a country
exactly.
behind him. Yeah. And
So
that's
he
what
can fight
it is.
overseas. He can fight overseas and all his fan base will just follow him.
Yeah, but
I
then-
wonder, could you imagine everyone from like Mexicans coming to the UK? Because we don't have really any Mexican people in the UK at all. That's one demographic of that we don't have
Yeah, but I
here.
think- I
that
think
have
he's
But
got
I'm
enough-
pretty
he's got enough
sure,
price.
around Europe, I'm pretty sure around Europe in the Spanish speaking countries,
no.
Canelo is their guy. And
Yeah, yeah.
let's say he was
I
to
would
come and
like to
fight
see
in the
Mexicans
UK,
come over
people
here
will fly over to watch
to
him.
fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be interesting to see. I'd like it because like I said, we don't have Mexican people really here. I've only met maybe in my whole life couple Mexican people because obviously it's easier for them to if they want to immigrate or whatever, it's attached to the States, so they just do it like that. So to come all the way to England, it's not been a route.
Do you
But
think it's-
can I ask you guys
Would
something
be
right
fun
quick?
to see everyone come over like that. Yeah, go ahead.
Like, let's say, like, Tank Davis, Earl Spence, like, in California, we got a place called the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Like, if they were to walk out there with, like, no cameras, you think anybody would recognize them at all?
Who?
Earl Spence and Tank Davis?
I don't know.
See,
I don't know.
That's
They're
my point.
star. See, the thing is, they're stars, but they're not superstars yet.
No,
Yeah.
and that's my
There's a
point.
difference.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Is Tyson Fury a superstar in the United States in terms of like transcending?
You'd have to ask these lot because every time I ask anyone,
I'm asking.
No, but he got maybe not yet, but he came to America to beat the heavyweight champion here. So he's getting a lot of, when you watch ESPN, they always pushing him. Do you ever watch ESPN fights?
Yep.
They're always pushing him.
I mean, like what's
That's the
hilarious to me is,
machine
like,
they had behind him.
Y'all remember the Tom Schwartz fight, right? Like when he fought Tom Schwartz, he's like toying with Tom Schwartz, and the commentators are going crazy with him playing with this lesser opposition opponent. It's like, okay, of course he's gonna do that. Like he's putting on a master class, right? I'm like, okay, yeah. So what? He's not fighting somebody who's a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even then, he did. It's not like he has a machine behind him, but the machine's not selling out his fights. Like, people are still not convinced. Like, and this is the thing. I believe the market is broken. Yeah, it's broken because a lot of these fighters are struggling to sell out their fights. A lot of these fighters are struggling with their pay-per-views. It's just a whole crap show, to be honest. Like, boxing in America is not what it used to be. I remember back in the day, that's all everybody talked about all over the world was American boxing. Now,
you mean the big fights?
It just seemed like almost all the fights were big over there. That's how it seemed to me. And now it's not like that.
We don't. The thing is, right? It's like, I think with American boxing is that, in terms of like we kind of took it for, we were sport for choice in kind of the 1980s, definitely in the 90s as well, where you had charismatic fighters with big names,
and skill as
well, yeah. But if we're talking 80s, 90s, obviously you had Tyson, massive. Holyfield was massive. You know what I mean? But towards the end of the 80s and just in the 90s, Sugar Ray Leonard was still going strong. His last fight was in 91. So I get what you're saying, but I think since then, I think the common denominator is that it's just like US athletics. I always say it, and I know I don't want to annoy any Americans, but Americans tend to be interested in sports where only if their top man is the best. Like athletics, if you're the fastest man in the world, if it's American, you're up for it. If the heavyweight champion of the world is American, But you know, with charisma, you're there. Wimbledon or tennis champion, you're there. But when Americans ain't dominating certain sports, I think the interest wanes. Could be wrong, but that's the impression we get over in the over this side of the pond.
The excuse that I heard is we got American football, we got basketball, we got this, we got that. No, the boxing is dead in America. It's just that's it. These man, they can breathe life back into it if they start fighting each other. All these Teofimo, Haney, all these man, bruv, you need to start fighting. All this Terence Crawford, there's so many fights, yeah, that could have happened that ain't happened. Like, why is it? Like, I'm not saying this is a massive fight, yeah, but why hasn't Wilder fought Big Baby Miller or all the other American heavyweights out there? Why hasn't he fought them? Like, and this is why, yeah, it those are not big fights yet, but it starts from there and then it builds up. But he's just been stat padding. The other guys are stat padding. None of them are fighting each other, and it's just a whole shit show of stat padding. Like, at the end of the day, in the UK, the only fight that we haven't really got yet that should happen is probably Joshua Buatsi and the other guy on Frank Anthony Yard. That's really the only fight. That's really the only fight. Other than that, everyone's fighting each other. Literally, everyone's fighting each other. So I mean, I don't really get it. Personally, I don't really get what's going on over there. I'm actually sick of American boxing right now. Like the way these men are not fighting each other.
No one's fighting. No, man, it's very frustrating.
All they want to do is fight on Twitter and social media. That's
it. Everyone's scared of boxing a loss, though, isn't it, in boxing? But you know what's happened? You know, American boxing is in dire straits when Eddie Hearn can go there and have a go there, man. That guy should never be allowed near your boxing scene because he'll just French connection it up. Seriously, mate. Because he is one of the biggest arse protectors of his fighters in boxing.
I think Eddie Hearn's a good promoter.
But he does protect his prize stallions, though. He does.
But he loses a lot of champions.
LadyChann.
No. He's put his champs out on the line as well, and his star people on the line. And we've seen Eddie Hearn lose back to back in upsets last year. Loads.
I don't agree that he protects fighters. I believe, that Eddie Hearn will sell you out for big money. If the price is right, he'll sell you out.
Yeah.
So I don't believe he's a promoter. He's a promoter. Them man are liars. Yeah. All they care about is the money.
You know, in terms of like reason why Sky cut his budget. And that's why he had to go with designing because he wasn't delivering. He didn't deliver the goods in terms. He left Sky because Sky were trying to control what was going on too much. Yeah, that's why he left Sky.
Yeah. And he wanted
at the zone.
Fights.
At the zone, they give him free reign to do what the hell he wants. They give him free reign on how the show and the production value is, and the thing is, he's only just came into the zone thing, yeah. Give it at least another year or so, and you'll see what's going on over there. So, I mean, at the end of the day,
he's done an all right job.
Yeah, he's done okay. I won't say he's done fantastic.
I think he's done an all right job. I think he did a good job at Sky. I think he's just having some teething.
He was on the wane. It was towards the end. He was on the wane in terms of what
problems.
He was delivering.
Maybe at the zone.
He wasn't value for money towards the end.
Yeah, like South London said, he's not been in lawsuits. He ain't been sued. People ain't said he's underpaid. People ain't said he ain't given them their money. You know, all the other promoters, that's attached to all of the other promoters.
Don't you dare slag off Frank Warren. Stop slagging off Frank Warren.
Well, Frank Warren not paying who he's supposed to be paying.
He is protecting Joshua Buatsi and kind of been, though.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. And
because I'll tell you two examples. Like he's keeping Ben away from Evanesian and Buatsi was about to fight Blasov, but after the shock upsets in Sheffield, they said F that shit, say you're injured, bro.
Yeah, I agree. He's like, nah, mate, I can't lose anymore.
How are we going to know how good Conor Ben is if he's fighting has-beens fighters? You know,
one thing I'll say is the clap because Conor Ben only just became Ben like recently. Yeah, he's only holding up that Ben name very well recently. Yeah, so the clamor for a big fight, it's not like how Errol Spence has been. Like, you know, like we've been waiting for this fight for so long. At first, he said, get a belt first. Then he got a belt. Then it's the wrong side of the street. Then it's this. Then it's that. Then it's like American boxing. I don't think you understand. It makes me sick.
South, you're not long. Spence doesn't want that fight. He never did. He doesn't want it.
It makes me like this is the thing. My main problem with it is the age of Errol. I mean, the age of Crawford, and he's just getting older and older and older. If that fight may never ever happen. Haney, Lopez, Ryan, Tank, it may never happen.
Well, Lopez
This is a disgrace.
South London, hey, yo, I've lost sleep. I don't care about Spence Crawford anymore. I'm done.
It's a disgrace.
It's sad though that we have to come to that though, because I really want to see that fight, Spence.
So do I. I mean, it's been in the
That's
works
why
for
I don't care about.
years.
That's why I don't care about no fake machine putting on adverts for guys who can't even sell out a flipping nightclub. Like, I don't care. These man, there's some fake stuff happening over there, man. It's just no different from me setting up a YouTube channel and paying for 100 million views. That doesn't mean people are watching.
Yeah, come like WWE over there with their boxing.
But guys, you know what I'm. You guys notice how
seem like it's real.
Yeah, you
it's
guys
lost any form of authenticity.
It has.
Don't get me to say
social media.
But you guys notice. You guys notice how I just said that Eddie's keeping Conor away from Avenesian, right?
Yeah.
I think Conor doesn't want to fight him either. You know why? Because Conor's called out everybody except him.
Yeah, but he wants a bro. He does want Broner. He said he wants Broner. Maurice Hooker.
What's he want Broner for? What's Broner? What's he going to learn?
That's what.
No, but that would be an entertaining fight. I'm not mad at the Broner thing.
His dad, 30-something years ago, he came in the scene in 87. In 88, he was knocking her out, and he was brave enough to take a risk at Finsbury Park in May 1989 against a live fighter in Michael Watson. Yes, he lost, but he got a whole lot of respect from a 7-year-old
great fight,
which was me,
by
taking a risk. And that's what this guy should do. If Conor Ben is the world beating everyone thinks is fight, let's have a 50-50 fight. You've had enough fights. It's not as if he's on 10 fights. He's had enough experience, fighting experience or fighting practice, you want to call it. Let's have a laugh.
But do you know why I don't even hate on this talk that we're having now?
Because he's had no amateur, so I think that's why they're being called.
That's a good point. That's a good point you're making, Shan. But you know why I don't even have any. You know why this is a good talking point? Yeah, a few people think he should be taking a bigger fight because this is boxing. I'm against anybody that doesn't want the fights. Yeah, all these men over there saying wrong side of the street and all these excuses about going to get belts and that. We're all debating somebody who literally only just started knocking a few guys out recently. Like, why isn't he stepping up and getting a big fight? But yet we've got people that are defending man from not even running towards the fight.
Thank you.
Like all these fanboys, I hate them because they're destroying the sport.
It was wrong with the sport.
They're backing people up. Saying, he needs to get a belt. Oh, why does he deserve to fight? Why?
But little Conor Ben should be fighting fucking Boots Ennis and Errol Spence tomorrow. But Errol Spence ain't fighting nobody, and he's been a pro for how many years? And it's like fuck off. Like hold everyone to the same standard. It's true. Go and fucking work on Errol Spence's fucking ass. Don't come over here and talk about Conor Ben should be fighting the top American welterweight. now. So why ain't the top American welterweights fighting each other?
Thank you. I mean,
Exactly.
Here's how crazy the Spence fanboys are. It's like after Spence beat Porter, right? They weren't demanding Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence fight. They were demanding, oh no, he's got to fight Sean Porter because he gave him such a close fight. So once we finally get the fight, and Terrence Crawford wins and becomes the first guy to stop him, oh, they still don't want to see it now. That's still not good enough. You know what I mean? It's just it's ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous.
Everyone's thinking about finances, isn't it? Bob Aaron's done a very, very good job in underselling Terence Crawford's value. You know, if you shout loud enough, people are going to listen to you instead of ignoring you. Bob Aaron's been shouting bullshit about Crawford for too long. Some people have been put off by the bullshit that he's been shouting.
Do you know what? I respect what Terence Crawford does in the ring, but I think just like everything, you got to take accountability for certain things. Just like a girl will probably complain, say, "Oh yeah, every time I get with a guy, he's trash, he's this, he's that." Hold on, you picked that trash. So I'm looking at Terence Crawford and I'm saying, hold on, you signed the deal expired, and then you signed another one. So really and truly, if you wanted the big fights, you should have done what was right for your career rather than, I don't know what he was trying to do, to be honest. I don't know whether it was a financial decision to stay over there or what. I don't know. But obviously that's not helped him out with the fight. So he has to take some form of accountability as well. I don't want him to feel like, oh, we can all now blame it all on Bob, because that's what everybody does in life. You want to blame, you're in a crap situation, you want to blame somebody else.
Yeah, but Bob,
that's my point of view.
When they were together, though, Bob was, even after the Brook fight, Bob was still saying, doubting his ability to promote Terence Crawford, and said that he doesn't make money and blah. He said that, and that was when they were within contract. It wasn't comments that Bob made afterwards. It was when they were, in a partnership.
But maybe he's not making money. Maybe he is losing him money left, right, and center. Maybe Tyson Fury is also losing my man money. Like, at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, no one put a gun to his head and said, "Bro, sign the contract." Yeah, he signed it of his own free will, like knowing Bob's history and everything. So at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, if you see a man and you're a woman, promiscuous man, known for checking many girls, and then you go out with him and then he does the same thing to you, that's your fault. Like, so at the end of the day, he needs to take.
They're in contract, though. They're in a contract. You can't leave him until the contract's finished.
But that's what I'm saying. He had one contract. That contract expired, and then he re-signed. So it's not.
That's his business.
That's his fault. So he's already seen. He was with him initially, saw one side of Bob, and then he wanted to see more of the same dead side of Bob. That's him.
How do you know that?
How do I know that? That he signed 2 contracts.
This topic, because this topic was done already last week, so like we're not going to go over the Bob Arum.
Can we go back to Gary and what he's going to do next?
Yeah. So we don't really want to go over this topic because we just did it last week. But you can quickly wrap that up between yourself and Lisa, and Lisa and yourself.
No, it's the stuff is out there. He had one deal. That deal expired. He re-signed. So
no, I realize that. I'm saying, how do you know what he experienced?
How do I know what he experienced? Because he was there before. That's what I'm trying to say. You think Bob all of a sudden changed how he was? He didn't. He wasn't one way in one contract and another way in another contract. That's the same Bob. You got to take accountability.
I hear what you're saying. What changed, but we're not to know until this thing comes out. I hear what you're saying. I get that point. But at the end of the day, none of us know. None of us know what Bud experienced, and we're not. I think it's quite disrespectful to also question his feelings because we're not him. So we're just gonna have to let it pan out and see where it goes. To be honest, because none of us really can say much. We can use those points that you've stated or everybody stated, but yeah, I want to move on to you need to get a screen picture, an AV picture. You can put an AV picture on there, Gredax, so it looks a bit looks a bit nice. All you have to do is press the 3 dots at the top right when you're on top of your thing, on top of your black square, and then it will tell you like you can upload an image.
Got it. I'll find one for you.
Yeah,
At some point.
gracias.
can do it
Anyway,
now.
so we are,
Oh, sorry, my bad. I was saying you can even upload a photo now if you want.
Yeah, you can upload it now if you want. It's like anything. Just grab anything because it just looks better. So right, we're moving along to the next topic, which is AJ says no to step.
Did he say no?
Yeah, well, he said it's bullshit. People talking like don't listen to people's bullshit. If he says something, then take that as the truth. So yeah, he said there's been no contract.
I refuse to step aside. Did he say I will not step aside?
He said I've seen no contract. He said that. What did he say? I've seen no contract. We'll play it. But at the end of the day, everybody wants to twist it and be like, well, maybe that means, I've had all these Fury fanboys come in my fucking comment section. Oh, but he didn't really refute it. Yeah, but he did. He said he ain't seen no contract. And if he ain't said it, where are people getting these quotes from? Because he didn't say it. So he said it's bullshit. Isn't that enough for people?
Hope so. For the good of boxing, I hope so.
Because it's enough for me.
No, I think for me, right, when I first heard the story, and I heard it was Gareth Davies that was the orchestrator of this story, I already knew it was fishy because I know he's up Fury's bummer. So I already knew there was something fishy about it.
Up it.
Yes. Well said.
And it's
so I didn't even have to hear AJ say, "Oh, don't listen to the nonsense." But having said that, I've had so many conversations with people saying, "Oi, have you heard? Like he's gonna take step aside. He's gonna take step aside." And I said, "Bro, this is Anthony Joshua, bro. This is Anthony Femi Joshua, bro. He ain't taking no step aside money.
Anthony
like where?
Femi Olua Joshua.
Who's gonna pay him this? Who's gonna pay him the money?
Let's have a look at what he said, shall we?
Look at this. Can you guys Pouch automatically tries all the codes it knows about from all over the web and tries on my online basket.
Yep.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Just I can't, but fine, not a problem.
You know what's bad about all these interviews I see? I see certain interviews that quote what I said. I think to myself, I ain't done no interviews. Where did this person get this information from? I'm hearing people saying AJ accepts 15 million to step aside. I ain't signed no contract. I ain't seen no contract. So as it stands, stop listening to the bullshit until it comes from me. I'm the man in control of my destiny. I'm the man that handles my business. I'm a smart individual. I make calculated decisions every step of the way. Don't listen to the bullshit from other sources. If I tell you something, you know it's real.
Well, that clears it up for me.
The way he's talking, I like that type of fire because he makes me feel like he wants to hurt Usyk with that type of fire in his belly. I like it. More of that, Josh. More of that.
So where does it? So is that enough now for everyone to?
I mean, he didn't actually say that he wasn't going to do it. He just said you didn't hear it from me, right? So he could come out next week and then be like, "See, you've heard it from me. Now I am stepping aside." Right? Technically, he just said you didn't hear it from me.
He could, but that would make him look like a silly sausage. So I doubt it. I highly doubt that he's not entering into a rematch with Usyk. Like, if anything,
these are the type of Fury fans. I wouldn't usually highlight you because I know you're a Fury fan because you're racist. Black people need to start. Oh, I thought you said stop supporting. You're lucky because you're just about to get blocked. I thought, no, we don't need to support. You're lucky because I thought you was one of those fucking off-key Fury fans that do that. Oh, you just like him because he's black. And you don't like Fury because he's white. So I thought you was that. I've been battling with them back and forth all day.
Boxing. I know. All day. Morons. You guys are pork chops.
All day.
Absolute pork chops.
How do he know who black people support?
I know as well.
Yeah,
Shut up as
well. Like,
we support who you want to support.
I mean, what had me cracking up about this whole step aside deal is like, didn't just a few days ago Joshua said that he was gonna batter Usyk and take his belts back. So I never believed that shit to begin with. Like he's not going to change his mind. I believe he's serious when he said that. I believe him. So it's like, why would he be stepping aside all of a sudden?
You know what, guys? At the Arsenal game yesterday, I had a conversation with Kugan Cassidy because we were walking past.
Oh yeah, go ahead. That's what you're supposed to say.
And one of the things we talked about, right, is that I said to him, Kugan, please tell me that AJ and Dillian are not going to be doing this stupidness, man, of taking money, man. For a start, who's got 40 million to hand them aside, step aside? What's all the big fuss about, Usyk versus, Fury? He goes, oh, yeah, but don't you want it? I said, no. How about Tyson Fury, do what other fighters did and clear the division, then fight the best? What's the rush to fight Usyk, man? I wanted to say to him that Usyk versus Fury is one of the biggest scams ever. Because the reason why I call it a scam is because last year the fight that everyone supposedly wanted was Fury versus Joshua. So this is what I think is going to be a scam. Usyk fights Fury. Usyk does what everyone wants to do and loses to Fury, and then all of a sudden, by that time, AJ's refreshed, and then we all get our derby that we all wanted. AJ versus Fury, but what we're going to do is risk and reward. So basically, let's hope Usyk doesn't get in the way this time, like he got in the way the first time. Who's fooling who here? It's a bloody farce, mate.
Do you remember when they wanted? Do you remember when they was like, yes, AJ and Fury, and now all of a sudden, it's I know.
It's a game. It's a game. Usyk is basically. These
Fury
guys
was never interested in Undisputed. He would.
No, LadyChann, I disagree with you. It's a farce. It's a scam where basically Usyk and Fury get each other out of the way. Basically, Fury gets Usyk out of the way. Then we can have our derby where AJ's refreshed and that he has no risk.
And then it's Fury and
then we get what we really wanted, and it'll be just a bigger fight as it was before. Only that it's not only AJ is going to be the third, like the 3-time heavyweight champion who's going to take all the belts away from Fury. That's plan B. It's a scam. It's a scam. The Usyk AJ fight, the biggest scam in boxing. How people can't see through that, I don't know. It's a scam.
I don't know. You think the Usyk AJ fight, which Usyk being AJ's mandatory and him having a rematch.
Look, like I said, this is plan B. This is plan B by Bob Arum, not so much Eddie Hearn. Bob Arum and Frank Warren think we're idiots. It's a scam because all the main goal, and like I said, the money fight, or what you want to say, the promised land is still going to be AJ versus Fury. Because guess what? It makes money, and it makes Fury more money. Because Usyk and Fury will not sell. It will not sell. People do not want to see a couple of tap dancers, despite the fact that one of the tap dancers is 6'9" and the guy's got a big height. But whether we like it or not, the casuals in this country want blood and fuster, and dare I say it, and I say it with the greatest respect, they want basically a heel versus a baby face. Whoever's the heel, let me fit. This depends on whether you're a Fury fan and AJ fan. That's what we really, really want. But we're going about it a different way because Usyk messed everything up at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium last year. He ruined everything, ruined the plan. So plan B.
And so go ahead, Lise. Go ahead.
You know what I was gonna say? For me, I find it very interesting that now that AJ's out the picture, I mean, as far as He has a rematch. Now all of a sudden they want to push this undisputed. But when he was champion, nobody was trying to push it like that. Listen, if nobody don't see what I see, they don't want him in the picture or Dylan White. And this is about a leverage. This is about leverage or control, because the last undisputed heavyweight was Lennox Lewis. And he was not American. So AJ with the $50 million, he didn't come to America. You get what I'm saying? So I felt like him and Wilder, I wish that they would have addressed that before all of this stuff came. Now it's turned into it was a 2-headed monster. Now it's a 4 or 5-headed, but it's getting crazy now. You know what I'm trying to say? So, and now what the media is doing, they're trying to bully him. They're trying to besmirch his reputation, his name. The same with Dylan White. I'm not saying that they're angels in this. What I'm saying is that I'm looking at things for what it is. And they want Fury to be the guy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody don't see what I'm seeing, or am I crazy?
They did try and do Undisputed beforehand.
I see what you're saying, because there's definitely something weird about the WBC. There's definitely something weird about what they're doing, because they was protecting Wilder from Dillian before. Then when Fury came into the picture, it's almost like they were like, yeah, Fury, go take the title off him. Don't worry about it. Then when Fury came into position, it's all about now protecting Fury from Dillian, which I don't quite get, because if Dillian White is so easy, you can't let this guy call out your whole family, your whole life, your whole reputation up and down for years and years and years, and then you don't fight him. If he's that easy, just get him out the way and then say, AJ, what are you saying? At least. But even if that's the case, and it's like, do you know what? I don't want to fight Dillian White because I want to fight AJ. Then fight AJ, but don't not fight them and then start looking at Caballero, start looking
Francis
at
and Gon,
Scott Parker, start looking at
MMA fighters,
Ngannou, start looking at WWF matches. Like, what's going on, bro? What's going on?
You're looking everywhere else except for who you're supposed to be fighting. And I just saw a comment from Jeff Lucietta. Sorry, go ahead, Gredax.
I was going to say, he doesn't like being mandated with who to fight and when to fight. He doesn't like contracts. He doesn't like being dragged into no mandatory. He just doesn't like it, does he? He wants to do whatever he wants to do, what he feels like.
In boxing, he don't like the rules, does he? Fury will always be the black sheep. That's clear to me. Are we supposed to get out violins and be like, oh, he's the black sheep? How is Fury the black sheep? When black sheep, you can put it as what? Because he does what he wants when he wants to do it. But
yeah, he does what he wants. He gets away with it.
It's not the black sheep because he's condemned or you know he's oppressed and then he can't do it because of this, because he's a gypsy. How is it? How is he the black sheep? Can you just clarify that, Jeff Lucietta, who is an avid Tyson Fury fan? So.
I'm not giving that guy I'm not giving him an out. I'm still pissed off that he didn't fight Klitschko in that rematch. I'm not giving him no
ran from
out.
That, and he tried to run from Wilder as well, and then he got dragged back into court. He needs to stop running and just fight.
Yeah, that's what he needs to do. Please just fight, because the last time.
Well, his answer was referred to me. They do. I'm looking at what I'm seeing. This is what I'm seeing, Jeff.
They want
because when AJ had the titles and Wilder, it was like all of this BS, and it continued to be BS even when it was Fury, Wilder, and AJ. But it's like now all of a sudden they're pushing hard for this undisputed. You know what I'm saying? And if they want to do that, that's fine. But what I'm saying is that I'm looking at I'm looking at, they do not want this guy to fight for the undisputed. That's what I'm seeing.
Lisa,
Anthony Joshua.
remember, Lisa,
and that's what I'm looking at.
They did actually want to do undisputed with Joshua and Fury, which is why Fury tried to run away from his rematch with Wilder, and Usyk said he would step aside for undisputed. So they were going to do it.
No. Usyk was cool in the end. No. Because I followed the story closely. Yeah. Usyk in the end was fine to step aside. He was just like, WBO kept giving Eddie an extension. He was like, get it sorted, otherwise we will put Usyk in position. But Usyk was nice and tidied up member. Then Tyson Fury came out. I'd spoken to Prince Khalid. Exactly. The money's there. And then that was a Sunday. And then on the Monday, oh, sorry, I'm fighting Wilder. No.
So it wasn't. It wasn't a conspiracy about trying to stop AJ. It was Fury's side which couldn't do it because he had to get dragged back to fight Wilder.
No. Yeah, but no, because what it was, Fury. Because I spoke and shouts out to Caden from the Boxing Brothers. He's actually a US lawyer. So I was speaking to him throughout, and like he was saying about the clause that if Fury wanted to get out of that fight, that trilogy with Wilder, he had that time in December where there was specific, I don't know what the clause was, that he could have not had to go on with the fight, because it doesn't matter what an arbitrator tells you. Like, an arbitrator can't physically pick you up and put you in the ring. A court can. Arbitration's the cheaper version. An arbitrator is usually an ex-judge, and that's why people take it to mediation to see if it can be mediated, and if not, then it goes to the arbitrator. It's not court of law, it's just not. So, and then Fury came out on record saying that Wilder wanted 20 million to step aside. So if you really wanted to do the fight with AJ because you cared about undisputed so much, which was £150 million fight, for two fights, £150 million, and again for the rematch, like, you would have made near enough $250 million, but you couldn't pay off Wilder 20 million, but you care about undisputed so much. You're a liar, mate. You're a liar. All it's about is blocking AJ, because that's all it is.
So that same number you just said, now a number is coming out now.
Yeah. 20 million.
Yeah.
Could I add something?
But do you know you're right as well about all that, because I remember when they were trying to get that fight over the line, and it just seemed off from Fury's side of things. It seemed off with Bob Arum. It actually seemed like they were just blocking the fight. Like they weren't serious with negotiations. They weren't. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, we're fighting Fury, and like, it's like, as you say, it's an arbitrator. It's not a court of law. It's not a matter of fact. It's none of that. It's just one person's opinion. And rather than forcing the fight through, they didn't really do anything. And that, I looked at that situation as, you lot are just trying to get promotion for your fight. You lot are not trying to fight AJ at all. You're just trying to recoup the money that you've been losing from fight 1 to fight 2 to this fight. Because I remember they got high guarantees, like 35 million and silly money like that, money that they weren't even worth. And on top of that, they had to give away free tickets at the gate because people weren't interested in the fight. So at the end of the day, these men have just lost money after money after money. And I think they were just trying to recoup. They was always going to have free fights. Let's be real. From the very first time they tried to cut AJ out of this thing, they was always going to have free fights. Yeah. Had they had made silly money from the first and the second fight, they might not have done the third fight. But they was always going to have free fights. They probably had the third fight because the money was crap. And I bet you I won't be surprised if they have a fourth fight. Don't be surprised.
Oh yeah, that's already been said by Fury.
What makes them think that they're going to make money out of Usyk? fighting Usyk. I don't know. All right, it's the undisputed. All right, fair enough. That's not kudos, but the end of the day, you still got to put bums in seats, and you still have to try and sell that fight and sell the fighters' personalities. And I don't see how an Usyk Fury fight and undisputed sells.
I mean, it might not.
An AJ Fury fight, I just don't see it.
But at the end of the day, what's fair is fair.
Money.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, what's fair is fair. If AJ doesn't win this rematch and Usyk keeps the belts, then they're in their full. They can go and. I
see how that fight gets built up. But if they're just saying, asking Dillian White to step aside and then AJ to step aside for these two to fight, I don't.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
I don't see how that fight makes money. I don't see
it's all about a block. It's about to block AJ because they just don't want AJ to be able to get back into the run-ins at all. It's just vindictiveness at this point because Fury's been on record multiple times to say, I've had all the belts at different times. I couldn't care less about the belts, stripped of the belt, vacated the belts. I couldn't care about undisputed.
If he doesn't want to fight for the belts, then retire and leave boxing to fight.
And now all of a sudden,
he want to fight and want to do the credits to the sport. I'm a massive Fury fan. I want to see heavyweight title boxing, and I want to see the best fight the best. If someone's in the way, get out of the way, mate. Just retire, please.
What about Dillian White?
Yeah.
Does anyone see that fight happening or not?
No.
No.
So what? You think he vacates the belt then?
I don't know.
I don't know.
If he wants to vacate the belt, fine. Let's have a one take. If he vacates the belt, good. Let him vacate and let Dillian White.
He's gonna have to fight him. He's gonna have to fight Dylan.
Do you know what's funny? Yeah, Dillian White. Yeah, is gonna go in there. If that fight happens, yeah, I'm not even gonna say he's gonna win, but I'm saying he's going in there and he's trying to take no prisoners. He's gonna fight
his heart
out. He's gonna fight his heart out to take that belt off him. Because that's his shot.
Yeah,
that is his shot at the promised land.
He's only shot. Yeah. The way he's got going on.
There's a reason why these men have been denying him for long. Like, I personally, for me, he knocks out Wilder. He knocks him out because Wilder's not good on the back foot. Unless Wilder tags him with that right hand, and I think he has to. He needs a few right hands to knock him out. I don't think he's just going to hit him with one right hand and then he's gone.
Yeah, he needs to be coming forward for all of that to happen. So,
one thing White has to advantage. So one thing that White has to advantage when he fights Tyson Fury. Remember, everyone criticised Deontay Wilder for not having the fundamentals. Yeah, yes, you, LadyChann, and saying he wasn't a good inside fighter. But Dillian White is a good inside fighter, and he does have a few skill sets and attributes. Not saying
who said I said he wasn't a good inside fighter. Did I?
No, you said
he's talking about Wilder.
Wilder fundamentals.
Oh, he's got none. He's got zero fundamentals.
Exactly. But what I'm trying to say is that Dillian White does have more to his arsenal in order to give Fury, a bit of a Rubik's cube than arguably Wilder has. Wilder had the right hand, but let's remember that detonated right hand puts Fury down 4 times. So, despite not having the skill sets that everyone associates with orthodox boxing, he still managed to put Fury down. I'm not saying White.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly.
White's got the attributes as an inside fighter to be more than happy and able to deal with anything Fury tries to put on him. In fact, he'll relish it. Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I give credit that Wilder actually, put Fury on the floor 4 times in total of those out of those 3 fights. So but I'm just not falling for the okie doke of what they all of a sudden want to play by the rules and we're so desperate to do undisputed. Mate, you always knew that Anthony Joshua going into the Usyk fight and you tried to call him, if he vacates the belt when Eddie Big Mouth Hearn was coming around, maybe we just drop the belts. And remember Tyson Fury's like, drop the belts. It doesn't matter. We don't need the belts. We're bigger than the belts and we can fight each other. Imagine if Anthony Joshua had dropped them belts and then fought Fury and then it would have all gone tits up. Listen, it's just vindictiveness. Like Tyson Fury always knew that Anthony Joshua fighting Usyk was going to be a rematch clause. So how comes all of a sudden he's fought once, he's lost, and they're all trying to muscle in? Oh, actually, we want to do undisputed. Fuck off, you fucking liars! You
just because he doesn't like contracts, he doesn't count.
Right,
he doesn't think they count, do they? He's like, oh, just don't worry about it.
They're just haters. They're just anything to. They're so jealous. It's so it's a shame.
It's what we've been saying for a few weeks, though. One thing that Tyson Fury.
Hi, Mal.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Shan? I don't know why am I looking like that. Let me change my camera.
Yeah, do you want to change it? Yeah, go ahead.
No, I got it right. I can change it right here.
Just so you know what it says about Tyson Fury. He's got a cult following. He's got a cult following.
Yeah.
He hasn't got the established, bona fide, solid following. And AJ has. AJ crosses over in a way Fury doesn't. People
Fury
like
is
Fury.
jealous of AJ.
Like that.
And instead of being like showing camaraderie with your fellow Brit, you know, you decide to go against him. That's
he's just
how
jealous.
much
He's just jealous.
It's bad.
Fury is pure jealous of AJ. He's always been jealous.
He is, isn't he?
He's always going on about his bodybuilder physique and there's been comments about him having a big, you know what, and it's like he's just jealous. He's just pure jealous. That's all it is.
Yeah, but it's sad though. It's petty and pathetic. Like, mate, you're stopping the sport. Like, you're a cancer to the sport. Just get out. But now Mal's in the building. Mal, do you want to run back anything and talk about anything that the two topics are? And I know on your show you covered that we're talking about the AJ thing. You can run it back and talk about Gary Russell Jr. into the AJ. Pick anything and drop him where you want to.
Yeah, well, I think Gary Russell. I mean, there's really nothing else to say as related to Gary Russell. You know what I mean? He lost, and he had an injury, but I'm not making that as an excuse. He had a built-in excuse prior to stepping in, so we know what happened with that. But as it relates to these rumors, that's where that came from. Gareth Davies.
Okay, yeah, put you up on game. Gareth Davies is quite a well-known boxing journalist here, though. He's the guy you've watched him. Yeah. He's the guy that looks like Ozzy Osbourne now.
Yeah. I know.
Blue glasses.
Yeah. I know. But
yeah, him.
He's
a Fury fanboy.
Yes, he's a Fury fanboy. So you have to question the source from which it comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Shan, you do this for a living. Like when you talking about this all the time. You got to question the sources. Yeah. When you hear sources say, or it's okay. Well, Gary Davies said such and such. Okay, he said that Joshua was going to take this yada yada. Okay, did Joshua say that? Did you hear from Joshua? Like, where did you get it from? Like, you gotta ask these questions.
Primary and secondary sources.
Yeah.
Primary. Joshua's the primary, and now they're still trying to overrule the primary source.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, well, Jeffrey David, what's his name? Garrett's talked to Bob Arum, and Bob Arum said that Fury said that this is what we're trying to offer. So Bob says that yesterday I was lying today, I'm telling the truth. Then you have Fury hasn't said anything. So shout out to Fury, he hasn't said anything. But I'm just saying, like, Bob Arum of all people. And then what Eddie Hearn said, such. Eddie talked too goddamn much. I don't know what Eddie said, but he said basically, expect the unexpected. So people took that and thought that he meant such and such. I'm like, what is Joshua saying?
Mm-hmm.
What is Joshua saying? Well, he haven't said anything. Okay, if he haven't said anything, you can't assume that what someone else saying is true because he hasn't said anything.
Mm-hmm.
You can't make an assumption because what is it based on? You know what I mean? So
or 258 management at least.
I'm like, okay, and then Joshua clears it up today. Well, he didn't say that he wasn't thinking about it. So I'm like, dude, you're splitting hairs at this point.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't say. He said he didn't receive the contract. So that means, he didn't say he wasn't thinking about it. You know what I mean? So now you're splitting hairs. You're looking for something. Dude, I get it. You want to push your narrative. I understand.
Yeah.
But this is what Joshua said.
Now
you're gonna believe a reporter that has a bias because he has a personal relationship with that particular fighter over the guy who this whole thing is supposed to be about. Well, I don't believe what Joshua says. I believe what the the third and fourth and fifth guy said that he heard that someone else said that Bob Arum said that Bob Arum baby mama said back in 1972. You know what I mean? That's going on today, and this is what's going on. So that's
This is what I'm saying, and you didn't get comments like this, like Stewarty Dowles, Shan, AJ's daft as brush. What does it not mean? So you know, you get these types of, as we say, the detractors.
Well, I don't know what does that mean. You say daft as brush?
Mean it.
Saying he's stupid.
He's daft as a brush. He's as stupid as a brush. What does him saying what he said? What does it not mean? So he's saying that AJ's stupid. Like what he said, it's basically he's arguing basically that what AJ said doesn't mean what he said.
Well, see, what Garrett said means a lot. Now, what Garrett said about what he heard from Bob Arum, about what Bob Arum said from what he heard from Tyson Fury, from what Tyson Fury told Bob Arum that he told Garrett. Now, what they said is true, but what Anthony Joshua was saying is not true. Okay, all right, brother, that's what you want to believe, so be it.
This is what I'm saying. You can't, like, Mal, I've never used the block button, deleted so many mofos in this last couple of days because they're in there, they're in the chat. Some of you lot are in the chat that some of your comments have got deleted and you got ignored. Some of you lot, I'm not even putting you up on the screen because, like, you know, when you come here, because on my comments, you lot are going wild, you're wilding. I'm blocking you. You're coming with new accounts, coming with like even before I got on this live, one of the trolls was on the comment section, like on the live section, like trolling before the show even started. Like that's how pathetic. You know what? When you come here, there will be parliamentary procedure, and there's some of you Fury fanboys that are well in the comments now, in the chat now. And how comes you ain't got all the big talk now? When the show cuts from the live, you jump into the fucking comments and you leave him fucking dissertations and back and forth with everybody. Please, mute. Back and forth with everybody. But when you're here, you're not saying nothing. But maybe that's a good thing because you know I'll just desecrate you if you just think you can come in here with your disrespect. Yeah. I'm just wondering when's all the big talk going to be. Don't leave it to the comment sections. Don't leave it to when the show's not live because I'll get you and you won't be able to come back to a live. So proceed with caution how you move from now because you're all fanboys and you're sickening. Like you make
Fury lost a fight?
Huh?
Can you imagine what I'd do if Fury lost?
They would all commit suicide, mass suicide. That's what they do. Shout out, Mal. Could you shout out? Could you use your hey, okay for blood?
And it's sad. They I've had people. Huh?
For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on the LadyChann.
Hey Leroy! Super chat received. Playtime's over, boy.
Salute, my brother. Blood boxing in the building. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Massively appreciated. Thank you so much. Yeah, go ahead, Lise.
Yeah, I was saying, it's sad. Like people are putting him up there with ATGs, like all-time greats. If he retires undefeated, like Ali and all of them, and he hasn't fought the level of competition. You got to beat Hall of Famers.
Yeah,
huh?
You
got to beat Hall of Famers. No, it was just people just talking. No, I'm just saying you got to beat Hall of Famers.
Now, there's a guy that said that, like we had it. The guy that said the journalist, the old journalist guy. I'll play you a little bit.
Is that you talking about Colin Hart?
Yeah, Colin Hart.
Colin Hart and Talksport with Sandra. Yeah. A few days ago. Yeah.
Because Colin Hart shuts you Fury fanboys down.
Yeah, we didn't say nothing nice about Joshua. He called him a spent force.
I know, but you know that's his opinion. But I still would rather listen to his opinion. Someone that's been in the boxing game for decades than these fucking little ones that have just come out their mum's vagina last week talking shit.
Fair enough.
You know, so yeah. So I'd rather listen to him. Just because someone says something that I don't agree with in their with their opinion doesn't mean I discredit them, you know? And to me, oh no, hang on, what am I supposed to do? I did that wrong. To me, right, he's a very, very, very credible. What he was saying, he could back it. He could back it. None of them man there could chat to George Foreman. Tyson Fury couldn't chat to George Foreman and them man there. Larry Holmes and them man there. Like, just have it right. What was his name? What was his name? Colin Hart. Yeah, that's
it was an interview on Talk Sport 2 boxing podcast.
Yeah.
Yes, Vundra.
Yeah. It was like Joshua just spent pulse. I do it. So let me just. I don't know if they'll. I reckon they'll strike me to. I don't own the rights to this, but it doesn't matter because if y'all want to strike, you guys still do it. So I'll play it. Let me do this.
Hey, say, I have a guy just sent me a message. He sent this Sunday. He said I was dead Thursday. Yep. I think this guy's been trolling me. He said I'm dead Thursday. Then he hit me up again. Said, yeah. Thursday you dead. This is ridiculous.
What? He's saying that you're dead?
Yeah, there was somebody trolling somebody.
Hey, welcome
what?
to the
club. So here comes the death threats.
Hey, I get death. I get death threats as well. Well, join the club, mate. We should set a club where we have our own golf day. You know, the guys who set death threats, where people just talk the talk, but don't walk the walk.
I'm gonna show it tomorrow to the audience. I'm showing tomorrow.
Yes, please. It's sickening. You guys, whatever fan base you're from, you're sickening. You're embarrassing. You should. Oh God, mate, your mum should have swallowed you instead of having you.
Damn, girl.
That's the fucking truth. Hi, Jed. That's the fucking truth.
How you doing, Lee? How you doing, LadyChann?
That's the truth. There's no lies told. No lies told.
How many years for Fury?
Because I didn't even finish the whole interview actually. And this guy that they had interviewing him, he's trying to correct Colin Hart, saying Fury got dropped in the 12th round. It was the 12th round. No, it was the 9th and the 11th. And you're like, at least if you've got someone interviewing someone, like, let the interviewer know anything about boxing, like, at least. Jeez.
Ali.
Yeah.
And even Tyson, in my opinion, would all have beaten Tyson Fury. All at their best, all in their prime. There's no doubt in my mind that Ali would have been too fast for him. I mean, I'm not knocking Fury. He's a very good fighter. And he would have given every one of them a tremendous fight. But I think that their experience, the fact that they beat higher class opponents than Fury has had to meet. I mean, Wilder, 3 terrific fights. But apart from his tremendous punch, Wilder, didn't have a lot else going for him. And the other man he beat, who was world class, was Vladimir Klitschko when he won the title. It mustn't be forgotten that Klitschko was 75 days off his 40th birthday. So you could hardly say he was in his prime. But, Fury is enormous. He's 6'9", 19 stone, a very formidable hunk of beef.
It's so difficult to compare boxers from different generations. But one thing we do have, which we can compare, is the records they have. When you look at Fury, 30 wins, 1 draw. But then when you compare them to the likes of Ali, Holmes, Foreman, some of these guys fought 60, 70 times. Yes, they suffered defeats, but their activity is incredible compared to someone like Fury now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Fury's had 32 fights. It is not the number of fights that really matters. It's the men they fought and beat. Powerful fighter they fought. And you'll find, if you go through the records of Ali, Holmes, Foreman, or the ones I've already mentioned, they met a very higher class of opponent throughout their career than Fury has had to do.
when you look at the fights that Fury's been in, you mentioned there taking on Wilder 3 times, taking on Klitschko, who was heading towards the end of his career. What would Fury need to do for you to put himself right in that conversation with the names you've mentioned?
Right, wave a magic wand and send him back 30, 40 years. So he was in that particular era I've been mentioning. And then if he was in against those guys and he beat those guys, then I would say he's the greatest heavyweight who ever lived. He wouldn't, in my opinion, have beaten them. He would have given them good fights and given them a lot of trouble because of the sheer size. And he's a good boxer. He's got a good boxing brain. But would he have beaten Ali? No. I'm talking about.
You're muted. Still muted.
Oh, no, he wouldn't have beaten none of them. Ha ha. You know, the boy in the Simpsons. Yeah. How does that make you feel, Fury fanboys? With someone that's got credibility, just tells you how it is. Go on, argue. Let's see you in the comments argue and say, what? Yeah.
Hey, wait, quick question.
These lot wouldn't have beaten none of them lot. That includes all our favourites. They wouldn't have beaten none of them lot. Fury's resume is trash. That is basically what he was all round saying. His resume is thin. So before you lot keep running around in comments and talking about who's the best heavyweight in our era, in the era of heavyweight boxing, you lot need to take a fucking nap. It's embarrassing. Yeah.
Quick question. Is that the guy that said that Daniel Dubois is the hardest punching heavyweight to come out of this country?
No clue. I would be lying.
I think that was the guy. I think he said something like that like a while back.
Yeah. I'd love to see Fury with George Foreman. George Foreman would clout him. It wouldn't be like the Wilder one where you get clouted and you get back up. You're not getting up from George Foreman. George Foreman was a formidable force. George Foreman, in my opinion, to this day, I don't care about what they're saying about Wilder, is the hardest hitting heavyweight that we've had. Point blank, period. Yeah.
Either him or Ernie Shavers.
No, Ernie Shavers, I would think.
Either one of them, both of them.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Liston was pretty beastie as well.
Like
Sonny Liston was pretty strong. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you wouldn't have beaten none of them, mate. None of them. So before you come in my comments and talk about, oh, you're racist. Yeah, as far as when I got that memo, Colin Hart's white. So what is he then? Because he's not going with your racially biased narrative.
You know, Kenny Norton was good. Kenny Norton was a good fighter as well. Kenny Norton.
You know. Yeah, Kenny Norton. That's what he was saying in the interview. He said fought 3 times. Frazier 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
No, they've fought like all the best, not even just one. You're not just like ticking off some. That's what he said. All right, cool. If AJ fought an out of his prime Klitschko at 41 and Fury fought him 17 months earlier at 39, just turning 40, it's the same. If it was good for Fury to beat him, then it's good for AJ to beat him. If it was rubbish for Fury to beat him, it's rubbish for AJ to beat him. Pick which one it is. Yeah? Shame, because the guy just said it. He was out of his prime as well. So if you want to go with it, how do you feel today? How do you lot feel? I need to see where you lot are all in my comments in the chat. Where are you? Where are you? Crickets.
I honestly think that Fury was lucky that he didn't have to fight Vitali. I think a 42-year-old Vitali would have put Fury straight into the ground.
That's why you ducked him for the rematch.
But do you know what's mad about that Klitschko fight as well? Is, okay, fair enough. You won the fight, and you should get a little bit of respect for the fact that you won the fight.
Yeah.
But this guy was tagging Klitschko with like 1 or 2 punches per round. It was a crap fight.
I know.
One of the crappiest fights I've ever seen in my life.
Me too. And I'm not just saying that. That's mad boring. There was no sweet science of it, like where you could say, it was just rubbish. It was just boring. It was just a snooze fest.
Like literally, like he was literally hitting him with like 1 or 2 jabs every round. Like that's, and he was just shuffling the whole fight. Like, I'm sorry, but and people said that, oh, AJ was just running from Ruiz, blah blah blah. He was he was hitting him with jabs the whole round.
He cut Ruiz's face. He cut Ruiz's eye in the first round. How was he doing that running? How could you cut someone's eye running?
He used his range, but he did throw right. He did throw straight right. Yeah, he did throw straight, but he threw right hands as well when he needed to.
He boxed impeccably. It was sweet science. He beat Ruiz 11.5 rounds. Maybe give Ruiz 1 round. So for me, that was good.
Ruiz didn't win a round for me.
Ruiz didn't even win one. Yeah, that's why I said 11.5, because there was like a little flurry of where Ruiz did get AJ a bit tucked. Other than that, no, mate. So yeah, it's just what's good for the goose. It's good for the gander.
I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's just that, you know, AJ is not the flavor of the fucking week this week, and it makes me. I'm so tired of like having to fight with these fanboys about, you know. First of all, stop believing all this, all these narratives about. Like, I've been asked 20 times yesterday before you put your video up. I've been asked 20 times yesterday, literally. What do you think about the step aside money? I said, why do you even listen to that? Because all I gotta say is this: how are they going to pay 15 million pounds to AJ? Because that means they're going to have to give at least 7 or 8 million to White. Where's the profit from the fight going to come from? Think about that. Do you think they're gonna make $1 million? Do you seriously think they're gonna make $1 million points on pay-per-view? Get the fuck out of here! You know,
delusions of mass grandeur.
Yeah,
it just fits their it fits their narrative, isn't it? So they'd rather you give them the facts, and they're like, but no, but this. So you know, at the end of the day, you just have to give up with these little wankers, because that's what they are, to be honest.
I just common sense will tell you. You know, just common sense.
Can I throw this out into the ethos? So if AJ was to take step aside money, wouldn't you say, considering that his guarantee is 30 million, wouldn't 15 million, 30 million plus he gets, 50% of PPVs, wouldn't 15 million be way too small of a fee to try and make him step aside? Because I hear people going, that's a massive amount of money to give to AJ to step aside. I'm like, but he makes 30 million just off the rip. Like, just even put his pinky toe in the ring. So what do you guys think? Ken?
Yeah, I think what some people don't understand, right, is that they don't understand boxing, and that they just don't, and they certainly don't understand, what AJ's worth. But the end of the day, you've got to remember, right, is that there was a lot of genuine boxing people who do like Tyson Fury, genuine. But I think there's a cult who I'm not going to lower my standards and lower myself by suggesting that their love of Tyson Fury has everything to do with anything but boxing. But then again, I could be wrong. But
shouts out Saint Don. That one's going to you. Go ahead.
I'd say with the greatest respect.
I don't.
We're all boxing people here. But the thing about it is that, damn, if we don't have the casuals, then we don't have crowds. But if we didn't have the casuals, we'll have common sense discussions about boxing. Because sometimes the casuals are a pain in the bloody arse. They ain't got a Scooby Doo about boxing. They're just a bunch of pork chops who just think boxing is about one massive fight that fills that stadium. You want to see any of these pork chops in the York Hall or any of the small halls around the Camden Centre? They're one of those pork chops that will say fight is crap because they've lost. even though they've lost to another good fighter. And
you're starting to make me feel bad, man.
What I'm trying to say is that some of these, the thing about these pork chops is that we fighters can't survive without these pork chops. But ultimately, the sort of comments you're seeing are these people who are backing Tyson Fury. I'm not dying and wall boxing fans. They're just casuals, and they got their reasons for wanting Fury to be like the top dog. Probably the same reasons why Morris.
Look, I got no problem with the casuals, all right. But when
they speak like that, I do.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm just glad that we have slightly more fans than we did, not too long ago. All right. So and they're casuals. There's nothing wrong with casuals. Let them be the fanboys that they are. It's just I really truly believe that it's up to channels like this, like you guys, myself, like Coach. It's up to try to educate, this fan base onto what to look for. I'm never going to be a fan of any boxer that won't produce more than 2 fights a year. And it's that simple. So I am no fan of a Fury, of a Wilder. I have a lot of respect for AJ because of all the work he put in while everybody else was stagnant. And the man was not afraid to put the title on the line, which is how he lost his title, by putting it out on the line. Where you got all these other cherry cheese dick let me curb myself. Where you got all these other cherries just like, afraid of losing that zero. I have no respect for that. I was happy when Gary lost his title because he held that title hostage for 2 years. And he preemptively struck with a freaking, I'm injured. Preemptively. Well, okay, you're injured. Yep. You don't got no title no more, too. And I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry, I gotta stop cussing so much.
No, I agree in what you're saying.
So
we ain't backing you, mate, if you're fighting once every 18 months and once every in Fury and Wilder and them not once every 2 years.
Yeah, there's no
excuse. Oh, you're the best, but you've only fought.
Hey, you got Mike Tyson
3 times out of 4 years.
Mike Tyson that fought, I think it was in 83. You got Mike Tyson who fought, I think it was 83 or 84, that fought 20 times.
But this ball been taking the easy
83 to 84, I believe it was.
Look, what's the Otis? You can't do it like me, Otis. Nobody ain't coming to see you, Otis.
Otis.
You know what? There's no excuse for the modern fighter. There's no excuse for the modern fighter not to fight frequently because at the end of the day, they've got the best training facilities, better than they had 40 years ago. Plus, they have access to body conditioning. They've got their own chefs and everything. And, and they've got the best physios, in a way. And they've got, the kind of the medical, people on the hand. They've got the best facilities that anyone can have. They're athletes now, boxers. So why they don't, turn up for work on a regular basis, it astounds me, really. Astounds me.
They're not turning up to go to work at all.
And then they're gonna bitch, and then you see, so you got these fans that like these guys, right? That are fanboys, and I get it. Like I said, I'm glad that they're fans. But the fact that until they're taught something or until they're shown something, and you gotta hold them by the hand. Say, come here, let me show you this. Come here, let me show you this. All right. Here you got again, I'm not a fan of Canelo Alvarez, but okay. I got to call it like I see it. The man has fought, and the last 4 fights have been champions. The last 3 fights have been champions. Okay. And you're gonna diss? Oh, but the drugs, and now he's the most drug-tested boxer
In history.
Oh,
Shan. Yo, you gonna be 38 hot. I'm on Twitter.
This ought to be good.
Other hangout spot. Tyson Fury has a survey up. He dropped 4 hours ago, about 4 hours ago. He said, "Will the bomb step aside?" ? Yes, he will. No, he won't. I'm injured. That's what he said.
What a loser. The guy, all he does is use his name and AJ's name to keep himself relevant.
Let me show it to you.
Yeah, share it, please, Mal.
AJ need to punch him into next year.
Yeah, into next
so
year.
sick of him. Yeah,
me too.
So I think he's trolling, and that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Like if he was to even like go for this or fall for this in any way, form, or fashion, and I said it on the show today. Listen, dude, he gonna clown the hell out of you. They're gonna say you was a coward, you was this, Duck Usyk, you couldn't handle him, so you had to get that real man, fight him, and the Gypsy King.
Yeah.
And if Tyson Fury wins, I'm gonna retire because it's clearly I beat yeah. So you know what the show's gonna.
What they're trying to design out here.
Yeah.
Well, let me show you this. Let me show you.
Losers.
Here we go, Sharon. Here we go. Share. I have it right here. I just shared it. Let me blow it up so everybody can see it. Let me blow it up so everybody can see it. Hold on.
Hang on. Let me take off the banner.
There we go. This is my second account. I'm following Leonard Ellaby on. I'm stalking him. Don't tell nobody. Between us.
Don't worry. We're not going to tell. We're not going to tell him.
We won't tell nobody.
It's not Leonard's business.
Yeah. So this, as you can see, this is Tyson Fury's. This is his Twitter official check.
Yep.
He said, "Will the bomb step aside?" I was like,
No, I'm injured. How the audacity of it all, isn't it?
Yeah, he's trolling hard. He's trolling hard now. He's trolling.
Will the bum step aside? Like what did you fight the bum when you could have
he trolling hard.
I know he's so, but the thing is he's so pathetic. It's like, you just got green. His eyes are just filled with green.
Lame.
He's green with envy. He's so lame. He's so lame. It's so sad how lame the geezer is.
You know what? With statements like that, though, don't you feel like he's just shooting himself in the foot? And here's my reasoning.
Look, you got to think, gotta love Fury. No, we don't gotta love it. You gotta love Fury. You ride you ride his dick. His dick. You gargle his balls in your mouth daily. Because you're the one of the fanboys that I'm talking about when you come on my comments and you argue with everyone with a load of shit because you're the biggest Fury dick rider I've ever had the displeasure to virtually meet.
Well, they might be being sarcastic, sweetheart. I don't know. They might be.
No. I know who my.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know why he come over here. You're not a Fury.
Why he comes over
it's
here.
stupid.
I don't know why you're here. I never get why you come here. I never get why you go in my comments knowing that we don't rock that way. I don't understand it. Like, you either conform or go elsewhere. Conform and behave or go elsewhere. Yeah, I know you. Yeah, I do. I do know you. I sure do know you. Stop riding Fury's cock. He's got a wife that does that. That's produced him 6 kids.
Right.
You rainbow.
Hey, the people be saying you gotta support, and you don't gotta like anybody or support. You as long as it's, I give the man respect. He's the top dog right now, heavyweight. But far as that, I'm not.
Sorry, sis. Conform to the manners that you're supposed to have when you are on a lady's channel. Yes, that conform. We don't share the same opinion, so you don't have to conform to my opinion. But you're gonna have to conform. Like when you go to people's house, don't you conform to their rules of their household? If they want you to take off your shoes before you enter their house, and you agree, that's you conforming to the rules. If you don't like to conform to the rules, don't come over to my house don't go over to other people's shit if you can't go. Oh, I know you're like your leader and you want to, you know, you don't want to go by rules, but yeah, do as you're told. Yeah, that's what you are to do. And if I see you in my comments being rude and going back and forth and being rude, you can go back and forth, but if you're being rude, yeah, well, I don't want your opinion like that. How about that? How about that now? Go and do your own Fury channel and do your own fucking opinion. Stop coming to my one. My
put him on timeout.
Stop. No, you don't have to go on timeout. But not yet. Not yet. Because the timeout that I'll put him on, he'll just be hidden from the channel if he doesn't conform to the rules. And I hope that... Is that what you really look like on there? Yeah, you hold his jock strap in your mouth. Like, you have a flag on his sweaty bead. You have his flabby back and rub it. Like, it's so pathetic, St. Don. I hope you're not a dad. I hope you don't have a son. I hope. Because if I had a dad that was you, I would fucking top myself. Anyway, moving along.
Okay then.
See me when I come. Don't come to fuck with me. When I desecrate, I'm soaking up the hate. Good. And in a minute, you'll soak up a timeout because you're boring. Time him out, AJ.
Okay, I'm on it.
Yeah, timeout for you. Don't say nothing for 5 minutes, and then you get a double one as well. You're a cocksucker. Fuck off.
Jesus.
No, this is because. Yeah. Sorry for your 3 kids, mate. I feel sorry for them.
All right, he's on timeout.
Fanboy dad. Yeah, you said I've got 3 kids. You shouldn't even have admitted that. You should have said, I have no kids. Shame.
Cringe.
No, guys, I'm used to this. This guy has been in my comments trolling for a year, and it's sickening. It's fucking sickening. I don't go off on people just to go off on them. People that I've got Tyson Fury fans that subscribe to me. They're not fanboys. I've got Deontay Wilder fans that subscribe. They're not fanboys. But these set of Fury fanboys are coming fast, and they're coming a lot right now. Pause. And they're sickening. They're in everyone's comments. It's embarrassing. Don't have any more kids.
Damn. Oh.
Anyway, go on. Sorry, sis. Do you remember where I...
Yeah. Sorry. I don't even remember, but yeah, it's like don't get me wrong. Like I said, I give him the respect as the, he the top heavyweight right now. I know Usyk just got his just won the unified champion, but you give the respect. But a lot of these fans, fanboys, they want you to kiss they behind and lick the butt crack, and I'm not going to do that, and I don't ask anybody to do that to my favorite. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, because I don't know these fighters. I don't go around I just don't like when stuff is just doesn't seem fair in my eyes. I'm not the judge and the jury at the end of the day, but I survey the surroundings, and I've been seeing what's been going on for years, and after a while it's like you just get so tired of this. Like, come on, like, this is not what we grew up watching, and this is we grew up watching, for the most part, the best fight and the best. We didn't always get everything, but for the most part we got a lot of great fights, and it's just sad to see how stuff is now. You can't even trust the media. You gotta, like you said, you can't go on the first thing. You can't be first. You know what I mean? You can't. Because sometimes you gotta find out what's real.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just crazy. And everything now is like, everybody, you got sanctioning bodies fighting amongst each other. You got networks and platforms. Boxing fans are all split up. It's just crazy at this point. Like, we just want to see, as a fan, I still want to see the best fighting the best, and you know, or just or great fights. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, it's just crazy. But I just don't. I'm not gonna ask nobody why you don't like Bud or AJ or whoever else. You know what I mean? Like that's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like who cares? Because at the end of the day, they ain't putting no money in my pocket. I'm not a family member of theirs, so I have to put it. I put it in its proper perspective. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like I just don't like things that are just unfair or it just seems like injustices to somewhat in my
like that, sis.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've always said that, so like, it's just I don't really care for fanboys either. People may say but I'm not really a fangirl. I really am
No, we
not.
just tell the truth and we keep it fair and we like what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Like, stop changing the goalpost because it's your favorite fighter against someone else's fighter. Stop trying to drag down someone else's fighter to big up your fighter. If your fighter's so big in this, if he's such the Bertie big bollocks, why do you have to drag someone else down to make your fighter look like he's the Bertie big bollocks?
Because that's easier to do than to actually do any research. Didn't you know that? It's just so much. It's so much easier to do to make up a narrative or join a narrative instead of doing any type of confirmation. Like when they used to confirm stories, 2 and 3 times over before they publish anything. It's just so. Right now the internet and YouTube and Instagram and all is so quick. They want to be the first one to get the most views, to be able to get, to be able to get, the most popularity on their channel. They don't care. They have no integrity when it comes.
No integrity. Not much.
There's no integrity behind the information that you put out. So that's
the grammar is not even correct.
Oh, don't talk to me about grammar because I forget words, and then you're gonna make me feel bad.
Yeah, but you're not a journalist.
Yeah, but we talking about quote unquote so-called journalists. I'm like,
yeah, that's true.
How did this get through?
How did it get proof checked?
No.
Nothing. Mal,
just anything goes.
Mal?
Yeah, he here, but his icon is. Yeah.
Is he frozen?
Maybe he's away.
No, I'm here.
Oh, can you drop a super chat thingy? For me?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Shout out to Donald Banks. Hold on, let me make sure I have it on. Hold on.
You wish you could work it the way I do.
Shout out to Donald Banks for dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your girl, LadyChann.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Donald Banks for dropping that. Donald Banks, thanks, bars, for dropping that quarter of a dub on your kiss girl. This is why I love Shan. She doesn't take any BS. I swear, Shan, whenever you come to the US, I better know so we can meet. Dinner and drinks on me. Smiley and thumbs up.
Not if I take her out first.
I bet there's a long line with that saying that same thing, man.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Oh my God, I'm dying. Yeah, ain't nobody coming to see you, St. Don. They coming to see you, bitch. Yeah. Thank you so much.
And I refuse to let you go.
Them sound bites. You see when
Yeah,
you
Coach,
play them.
how much of those sound bites you got saved, man?
I got a bunch, man.
That's hilarious, Coach.
I got a bunch.
That's hilarious.
Coach, you're gonna ask you, do you use Sam's broadcaster for that, or you have that? Do you have a soundboard?
No, I have a soundboard. I have a soundboard. No, I used to use Sam's broadcaster too. When I had a radio station, an internet radio station, back in 2014. But I have Rodecaster soundboard.
I got a soundboard sitting here that I have not even unpacked yet, and I'm wondering if I should use it. You making me want to use that motherfucker.
True.
Yeah, I think
you could use your own voice too, right, Coach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
right here.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, I have my own voice right here. You see what it is. See what it is, baby boy. See what had happened was.
And
that's what they be doing. When they be reporting these fake stories, they got to backtrack.
Hey, coach. You know what soundbite? Hey, coach. You know what soundbite you should use?
What's that?
Good.
What?
Sorry, Chan gets it.
Good. Yes.
It's just like saying yes.
Oh, it's
who says that though?
It's from the show Family Guy. It's like an evil
Family
cockroach.
Guy. Okay.
It's like an evil cockroach who's like
It's good. Yeah, and it's funny because AJ always does it. Like, does it in the thingy, but you might not have heard it. So when he does it, I always die. Yeah. Free.
Oh,
yeah.
I need to check it out.
Man, them got 300 seconds to knock one out. Oh no! I'm sorry. I thought that was to do the timeout.
Hey, Coach, I've been waiting for you to do one from last week. What's his name? Don King, that press conference. I was dying.
Oh yeah. Don, that was hilarious. Don King was on the Trevor Bryan press conference. Yeah, Sam was watching it too. Sam was watching it. Yeah, you remember the Don King?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Lisa was dying because he said,
I had a ball. Let the good times roll. When he said that,
baby.
I hollered so hard.
Yeah, he is done. I'm like 90 years old. Him and I'm like, he still had to give the gap.
God bless him. Yeah.
Y'all watching that fight this week? Or
I mean, you know what? I forgot all about it, to be honest with you.
It's pay-per-view, right?
As we cut that off, it's out of sight, out of mind. I forgot. So
Trevor Bryan.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Mark was on Julius's live stream as well. He gave me the source to watch it on, like YouTube or the website where you could pay. I'll find out and give it to you guys if you want to see it. So,
is it Fight TV?
It's not Fight. It's something else. I mean, I got to go back to the video.
Oh, okay.
He said it, but I know the time mark where he said the video. I'll find out and tell you all about it. So.
Oh Lord, I'm scared to put my debit card in there; it might disappear.
Yeah, that's what everyone keeps saying.
It's
bad though, isn't it? Like, you got to think like that because it could be like that scammer.
Hopefully it's legit.
So who's he fighting again?
Machuno. It's a rematch. Who was it?
And it's $50.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Don.
Oh fuck, he trying to rob
Lord
us.
have mercy.
$50. Hang on, Mal, just another one. Super chat. Our guy.
Okay, I got you. Hold on, here you go.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Will Lynch.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
There you go, Shan.
Will Lynch, thank you for dropping that quarter of a dizzer on your gizzer. I just wanted to take a second to thank the boxing gods. AJ isn't stepping aside. I want him to come back stronger in the rematch. One can only hope. Yep, I'm glad as well. Will, I'm with you on that one, and we will see when this date, guys. Can I go around the panel and ask you this before Kenny nods off and falls asleep? I love you, Ken. Ken, what do you think that there's no date? No date for this Usyk fight? Do you think that there's some, with Eddie Hearn saying that, expect the unexpected. Is the unexpected to do with why there isn't a date set so far?
You know what? The reason why, nothing's been announced, because simple reason is that they don't know. They're waiting for, the results of the day, like I said, the purse bids for Dillian White and Tyson Fury. And I think once that gets sorted out, I think that business will be done for the, Usyk, Joshua rematch. Because I still think that people didn't agree with me, and I respect that. But I still think there's something that the plan is that as long as Eddie Hearn is AJ's promoter, then the plan is always the scam of the century, which is basically hoping Usyk smokes out Usyk, so Eddie Hearn and can get his precious, like Derby, Joshua Fury fight. That's his dream. That's the thing, because you never remember. You never got to deliver Wilder versus Joshua, and Sky never forgave him for that. That's why they cut his budgets. So this is his second chance, second coming. You know, all right.
Really?
He's in a roundabout way, but he's going to have to be super patient. But I think that's his utopia.
Yeah. Only thing I don't like about Eddie, he just do a lot of damn talking and just say shut the F up. You know, don't. And just hey, what's going on with Joshua and Usyk right now? Well, you know, right now we're just still working on some things. That's all I'm gonna say on that right now. To me, and that's what you know, to me, I'm thinking what Ken is saying. I'm thinking that they're waiting on, because see, I think Fury is trying to wait. When are they going to make this date so he can make a date as well with Dillian White and then try to time it and say, you know, remember the WBC gave him permission to fight a non-title fight. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you remember that, Ken and Lisa.
Yeah,
but they gave him permission. So he may say, okay, well, all right, now that Joshua and Usyk has a date, I'm gonna wait till the winner of that and fight them. I'll just fight me a non-title fight since Mauricio Sulaiman gave me permission to do that. I won't get my belt taken away. You know, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but they did give him permission to have a non-title fight. So I'm like, I don't know. I think it's smart. They probably already know what date they're going to fight. They're just not going to announce it until this arbitration is over with not arbitration. What is it? It's arbitration, right?
Yeah, the arbitration with Dillian White.
Yeah, the arbitration's over with Dillian White. I think that's what Eddie Hearn them
I thought it went to purse bid already.
No, it kept getting extended until, you know, they need
first bid is the 26th, I think. It's the 26th now.
Yeah, Wednesday, yeah.
That's what they say. It might get delayed again.
Might get delayed again. Haplo, they can't set a date because he doesn't even have a new trainer yet. How do you know then, Hap? Who told you this? Where's your source?
He hasn't announced he has a new trainer, has he, though?
It doesn't have to announce that he's got a new trainer.
Right. He could have a new trainer, or he could have the same trainer with other trainers we don't know. Just because he hasn't announced it doesn't mean he doesn't have one. Unless you know Anthony Joshua when you're with him and you know this for a fact, but I don't know.
Just because you never saw me cook macaroni and cheese doesn't mean I've never cooked it. Just people need
follows him. You got to play. They play games, so I mean, not that you want to play games, but you know, with Fury and them, they play so many games. You'd be like, Lord have mercy, you know.
Black and brown boxing in the building. What up, Black and brown? What up, Joe? What to do with the phone?
Hey, Shan, I got to get rid of the biz ounce. Just want to stop by.
Yeah, thank you for coming through, Mal. Shout outs and what's up?
Yeah,
and
man,
I did congratulate you, but I don't think you saw it in your chat. A couple of days ago, I congratulated you on reaching 10,000 subscribers within a year. So well done.
Yes, major milestone. Congrats, brother. Yeah,
congrats.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Yes, congrats.
I just lightning in a bottle. Okay, you know how you come at the right time. Some things.
Mm-hmm.
I just came in the community at the right time, and
they needed the truth.
Yeah,
they coming to see you, Blue.
Ruffle some feathers, and boy,
and grow a whole new chicken. Why not?
I really appreciate, man, everyone who supported me. I had a lot. LadyChann reached out to me like last February. She reached out to me when I had like 100 and something subscribers, maybe 200 if that. Her Major Key as well.
She was hilarious.
Just they allow me to come on their platforms and talk and stuff like that, and just everything. I mean, even my Major Key, everything. So I don't take anything for granted. Made some enemies along the way, but hey, it is what it is. It's no problem. It's nothing personal. Nothing personal.
Coming to see you, Blue.
It's gonna go pull up and stuff like that.
See now.
Before you head out, would you mind answering a question? I was just a bit confused why your last point that you mentioned that there was no date because he's waiting for Fury White.
Yeah.
What's that got to do with AJ? I'm just a bit confused.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Is that direct to that Mal?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why. Because Tyson Fury has been given permission to have a non-title fight from the WBC. The WBC, when it comes to Dillian White, they don't do him any favors. So if he has permission. I have the article. Where they gave him permission to have a non-title fight.
I know he has permission to fight.
So let's say hypothetically, Anthony Joshua and Usyk say, hey, we're going to fight March 25th. And let's say Tyson Fury says, and this is all hypotheticals. Tyson Fury says, well, you know what? You're big dog, so I don't want to fight Anthony. I don't want to fight Dillian White right now. What I want to do, I want to exercise my right to have a non-title fight, just like Mauricio Sulaiman gave me permission to do. I'm going to have a non-title fight in March, and then after March, I'll fight Dillian White. But once he find out who's the winner out of Joshua and Usyk, he'll come on and say, hey, well, you know what, Mauricio, you're undisputed Trump's mandatory, so I don't want to fight Dillian White right now. I want to go fight Tyson. I want to go fight the winner of, Usyk and yada, yada, yada. And they'll probably give it to him, do it anyways, because it's Dillian White. So that's why I say that. That's why I believe that.
So thank you for explaining. Yeah. I understand Fury's point of view, but why would Joshua not want to announce it because of that?
No, I think it's strategic. I don't have any proof of this, but I just think it's strategic. We're not going to announce anything.
Thanks for explaining.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mal. Tell me where they can find you and what up, Joe.
Yeah, man. So everybody, man, this is New Media Today, USA Boxing. Check me out tomorrow, 3:00 Eastern Standard Time. That's 8:00 UK time. So check me out, man. We will laugh, we have fun, talk trash. I troll other channels. I've been trolling a couple of them lately. You know what I mean? They've been upset.
Actually, I wanted to say something to you, Coach. I truly appreciate your candor on your show. I've been following you now for a couple months now, and I appreciate the way that you bring forth your information, and I like the way that you put these trolls on check. It's hilarious. I enjoy it. I've talked to you a couple of times. I try to get into your streams, but it's hard to get in that motherfucker because it's busy. So you're always
super chat.
Oh, you mean the chat? Talking about in the chats?
Yeah, in the chat.
Sometimes he does see it, but sometimes you maybe just send in a quick super chat and then you can see it. Like this is what.
I feel you.
It gets busy as your channel grows, and you can't just see every single comment. Even now, I've got just 50 people. We would have 55 people in the chat, right? And I couldn't even see everything that was going on. So imagine that. So imagine what he sees.
Yeah, we had the phones open, then I'll be looking at I have two monitors. So I have a monitor to my right, then I'm looking at the webcam. I have one to my left, so
everything. Yeah,
sharing everything, trying to work the soundboard. And then I will be talking about one thing, and then we'll veer off into something else, and then go around the world just to come right back to the first thing that we started with, because that's how my brain is wired. Like I'll be talking. Well, saying, Anthony Joshua, I remember the first round he did this, he did that. And then next thing we know, we're talking about a haggler, and then we're talking about a troll, and then we're talking about this. And then come all the way around the world just to go back to what we originally started.
Yeah, we all got ADHD in the building. Yeah, that's what it is.
So that's what it is, bro.
Yeah.
She understands. She understands. But
I get it. Don't worry, I get it.
Hey, but yeah, man, tomorrow, New Media Today, USA Boxing, 3:00 Eastern Standard Time, 8:00 UK time. Salute everybody, man. I'm going to bounce. Salute to the panel. Coach. Oh, hey, listen, before I go.
Salute, Coach.
Hey, before I go, round of applause. Hey, Shan, I gotta sing you this sound effect.
You're begging me not to leave, and I refuse to let you go. I
gotta see that. I gotta send you that.
I need it. Send it. Email it me when you got it.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
See you.
All right, man. Salute.
Yeah, salute. They're funny.
All right.
When you're ready. Thanks, Mal. New Media Today, USA Boxing. All
right.
See you later.
All right. Take care.
We will be wrapping. So I just wanted to get everybody's take on. So Kenny, we just heard your take with why there's no date. AJ all day. We'll go to AJ. We'll go to Gredax, and we'll go to South London. We'll go to Lisa Bizzels, and we'll go to Electro Jet. So why do you think there isn't? Do you think Eddie is leaving anything cryptic by saying expect the unexpected, and then we still have no date for Usyk and Joshua?
Well, I mean, not about being critic. Obviously, he just is being very picky and choosy with what he says. Maybe he doesn't want to reveal too much too soon. Who knows? I mean, well, I'm assuming like if everybody knows all the information, it's him and AJ, you know. But yeah, it really depends. I mean, I'm not you know, if when the fight happens, either Joshua's going to be ready or he isn't, and he's either going to lose the fight or he isn't. So I just hope we get a good fight. If Joshua could win, it is what it is. So that's pretty much my take on it.
Yeah. Okay.
By the way, I'd just like to say hi to St. Don. I hope you enjoyed your time out. So he's back.
Yeah, and then I timed him out like maybe another time after that, and he keeps going, who keeps timing me out? It's me, St. Don. Just stay in the chat and be quiet. You just keep talking. No one cares. Every time you talk, you get timed out.
Go back to your 3 kids. You know, play with them.
Go play, yeah, and do all of that. Over here, we're just talking about boxing. We're not doing fanboyism, fangirlism, which is just about boxing, you know? So, yeah, and you can't adhere to that. And your brain's not wired up like that. Paul Evans, thank you for the 2 squid. Dropping that super sticker. Hey, you. Thank you so much, P. They in bed, it's late. Okay, you go and join them. It's late for you too. Go away. You're annoying. It's so annoying. Okay, so thanks, AJ. Gredax, you got
no. Yep. So kind of probably disagree with everyone else here.
No, it's okay.
I believe that I'm quite worried about the fight because we saw in the last time that this happened with Ruiz, the rematch was almost instantly there was a date. It was announced, there was a date. It was all locked in. There was no messing around. There was no talk of, I'm going to ditch, what's his name, McCrappen. There was no talk about trainers or looking around. There was nothing. There was, we're going for this date. We got it locked in. It's this date. Here, we have not heard about a date. We've not heard about where it's going to be. We've heard about him looking at trainers. I'm very worried. I couldn't follow the contrived, he's doing it because Fury can fight someone else. That doesn't make sense. Why would Eddie not announce something because Fury might be able to fight someone else? No, I'm not following that. Just strange logic. But yeah, that's how I take it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I respectfully disagree on that one just because I remember when Ruiz was trying to fight Wilder and Eddie had to take him to court.
Yeah, and he went straight into court though. He went straight to court and we're like, yeah, we're doing this. There was no, you know.
But there was messing around though.
But it wasn't because of AJ's side, right? That was Ruiz trying to fight Wilder and get away from him, and Eddie was straight with a hammer with the lawyers there. Usyk isn't trying to dodge anyone. Usyk straight training.
But the only thing I could say,
but you never know. Usyk might be putting its heels in, saying, "No, I want this to be in Ukraine. I feel
Usyk is someone who's fought everyone on their home. He's a warrior.
Yeah, he don't care really. But sorry, go ahead, South London.
Yeah, I think in terms of what they're trying to do now, there's multiple things at play here. There's Dillian, who's older shot. Fury trying to slide out of fighting Dillian. There's AJ, who is allegedly contemplating step aside money or to fight Usyk wherever he's going to fight him, whether it's in Saudi Arabia or in the UK or in Ukraine. So there's different things happening, and the thing is that I think no one sort of looked at properly is that all of these fights could land on the zone. And that could be maybe the special announcement that Eddie could be thinking about or contemplating or whatever. Because all of these fights could end up on the zone. Like, as an example, if Fury ends up fighting White, that could be on the zone if they lose they lose the bid. And Joshua Usyk's going to be on the zone anyway, so they could have 2 very big fights back to back.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be mad if Joshua ends up on the zone, because Sky very much still want him. All right. Who's next in the order? I'm just doing some typing before we wrap. So go ahead. Just go around the panel with the same thing about.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish hopefully this gets resolved expeditiously. I would love to see Dylan and Fury. That would be a really fun fight to watch. I just want to see him get a shot at fighting for a title, and AJ and Usyk part two, and may the best man win, and just hopefully with a new trainer.
Does it worry you though? Does it worry you like what Kredak said, that there's with the Ruiz one there was like more of a definitive date, right? June you've lost, December the XYZ is the.
No, it doesn't worry me. I do see some differences because after the Ruiz fight, the loss, he immediately started back. He was training. He was it was a different it was just different. I agree. So it seemed like I with this one it's very confusing. But I'm not worried. No, not at all, because this is boxing.
Also,
I've seen it all in boxing. So I'm definitely not worried.
Sorry. Also, if you remember, when was the last fight? It was quite some time ago, and I think they were touted to fight. There were dates floated around like, another 6 months, then we'll fight again. So we were really expecting it to be in March. It's a bit late now to announce a fight of that magnitude. So I'm really worried. I wouldn't be surprised at all if there was a pullout.
No, I don't think there's going to be. I don't know. They're saying May now. So
from March to May.
I think it should just go. They just make it a summer blockbuster and just make it July or something. Fucking hell, because I mean.
And then they're fighting once a year. It's kind of
Yeah.
It's
not good. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah.
Back to this.
They're preserving these fighters nowadays more. Notice because of so many fighters took so much damage, and when they're talking, like when you see them later on, they could barely talk or whatever. So I'm noticing the last post Mayweather or during that, they're preserving the fighters more. Because they know the residual damage but they sign up for it. So I mean, who am I to look at a fight? Look at a fight like Matias the other night. Matias and that gentleman. That was a very brutal fight.
Oh God,
that was a very brutal fight. A fight like that, if he was to fight like that, that takes a lot off of you and some years off your career.
Yeah.
So Matias, he gets hit way too damn much. He has no defense, man. None. And if he keeps fighting punchers,
you know what? That's not fair. He likes to block punches with his face. Leave him alone.
No, I'm not. No, Jed, we're not saying that. We're saying that I'm looking at what's going on now. They are preserving boxers more. That's what I'm noticing. I agree. I get what you're saying. Yeah, but they sign, like I said, they sign up for it.
They signed up for this thing, and when it comes to my turn, I'll address that. But Lisa, you please continue to cook until you're done, and then
because at the end of the day, when they're retired,
guys, can I just say, Kenny Ken's just going to go. So thank you, Kenny Ken, for being here.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, Kenny Ken.
Out in the mud.
Take care,
guys. See ya.
All right, take care, Kenny Ken.
All right, cancel next time.
Have a good evening. Have a good evening. Yeah. But when they're retired, and some of them don't have anything. Because see, it's another side to that.
Yes, there is.
So when you don't have a lot of defense to protect yourself from that, have you seen Wilfred Benitez?
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
Yeah,
I was going to mention that Wilfred Benitez is in bad shape, and that was one of the greatest He is one of the greatest fighters of all time.
Defensive fighters.
You know,
Exactly.
And for him to be in the situation he's in right now is not fair. But
right,
even though he chose that profession, my thing is, if these promoters and these these boxing I can't even remember the word, but if these people really cared about these fighters, they would stop overpaying certain fighters and take care of all the fighters. But instead they're gonna overprice and overpay certain fighters and baby them, and yet put the rest on the chopping block. Again, it's not right.
I seriously disagree that this sort of delay has been because we're wanting to preserve AJ. I don't think Eddie Hearn cares at all about preserving AJ's health. Not a single bit of care.
No. I'm not saying that's what's going on with AJ. I was going off of what Lisa was talking about, and it's the truth. They are protecting some of the fighters, not all the fighters. Now, as far as AJ, let me make this point clear. I could give two fiddless fucks about White and Fury. All right, so I'm not going to comment on those two because I don't give a fuck. Now, as far as AJ and Usyk, I don't think I'm pretty sure there's not going to be no step aside money. Like I said, because there's not going to be no profit made on the pay-per-view. And yeah, forget about it. But if they don't make this fight happen within the next 6 months, there is going to be a degradation of, in my opinion, of the fandom, and people are going to get just so put off about it. They're going to end up losing a lot more than they intended, than they thought. I think this fight needs to happen. I think it's going to happen personally. I just hope it happens within the next 6 months. Because it's already been too long without a fight for both of those fighters.
Yeah.
For both those fighters. And I don't know AJ to be like that.
No, neither do I. Even though he keeps sending mixed reviews like, I'm a businessman and all of that.
Yeah, he was talking about triangles in one of his
Sometimes
interviews.
he doesn't help his cause with the kind of cryptic stuff that sometimes trying to sound too intelligent, you can actually sound less. So just either say less, say nothing, or just say exactly what it is. It's just one of those, really.
Yeah, he don't need to do interviews. He's horrible at them.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest.
He is, isn't he?
He is. Yeah.
Yeah, he's bad.
He seems a little socially awkward to me. That's just my opinion.
Who's bad? Who we talk about?
AJ. That he's not great. He doesn't seem to be great at interviews.
He's kind
every time he does an interview, there seems to be like a lot of like everybody's got question marks. Like what?
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of ambiguity there.
It sounds like what he's saying is rehearsed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it sounds weird. Yeah, because even at this, even I found when he was talking today about him not stepping aside, and then he went, "I'm the one in charge of my own destiny. I'm the one." I was just like, it sounds slightly corny. It sounds a bit superhero rehearsed. I'm the one in charge of
like he's gonna fight Prime or something.
I'm the intelligent one.
You halfway expect him to say, "I'm going to leap a tall building in a single bound."
Yeah, it sounded a bit.
Yeah, say less. Yeah, say less.
I was like, something sounds wrong. It sounds a bit rehearsed there. I don't understand why it sounds a bit cardboardy. It sounds a bit robotically. I'm like, if you look like watch, it's strange just how like even when he did the other IFL, when he did the IFL one, and he started off in like a pseudo American accent. I followed all the greats. Yeah. I came from Larry Hoover to the. And I thought, that was fucking. I didn't get that. That freaked me out because that was weird. That was very weird for me. I'm not gonna lie.
That was talking about a load of gangsters as well that he.
But it was just how he delivered it, and I didn't get it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what does this mean? Like, why are you doing this? Yeah, I just didn't understand it.
No.
So So it's just sometimes maybe you've got a PR company. Sometimes you don't have to go over. You don't have to always sometimes say stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know you want to clear up things, but he could have just said today, no bullshit. I didn't say it, so it's not happening.
I'm not stepping aside. So
I'm not stepping aside. I'm out.
Yeah, that's it.
Into a whole cloud of ambiguity. Yeah, ambiguity. That is it. Like how many different? So everybody, because it's so vague. Everybody and ambiguous. Everybody takes their own take on it, and this is where all the narratives start spinning, and then it ends up in the newspaper, and the newspaper takes it as this is what it is, and and this is where I think all these stories get spun. They don't need to be spun if he just literally just says. South London in the building. You gotta go. See you later, bud. Thank you for coming through.
Nice one, yeah.
Thank you for coming through, South. My
all right,
G.
South
London.
London.
Thank you very much.
South London, take care.
Yeah. Let's just say things how it is. The ambiguity is killing me. Yeah, and that's where people start making things up. And it doesn't do him any favors.
This is why I was a bit confused, because yes, he's come out and he hasn't just said, I'm not taking any step aside. He's just sort of gone, oh, I didn't say that. And he's just confusing. It's just set us straight, man.
Yeah.
You remember how he was asked, like, you remember he was talking about, like, what was somebody asked him, was it Coogan Cassius asked him, what was the game plan going into the Usyk fight? Oh, well, you have to talk to my team. I'd have been like, wait, don't you know?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean I have to ask your team for?
Bro,
why
do you have to guess anyway? Because in the end, he did say that there wasn't. The other day, I think it was Kurt that said it, but I don't know where that came from.
Oh, he said there was no game plan?
There wasn't no game plan.
Oh, God.
He's also been on record saying that he was boxing, though, because Fury said he couldn't box and he was a bodybuilder.
Yeah,
so he wanted to show
that
he could box.
Man? See, that just leads me to believe.
Why do you say things like that? Even if you thought that, why have you let that out?
Who cares what Fury thinks? Who cares? Who gives a shit what Fury says about you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he needs to leave social media alone.
He does.
That's the only way
he's letting everybody get into his head. I mean, pretty much, and that's not good.
And why?
Shout out to Roderick, $5 super chat.
Why even saying that, admitting that out loud? Like, dude, it's like you're giving people too much control over you.
Social media is not a journal.
It ain't.
No. Can I read this super chat? Roderick, free lot. Thank you for dropping that quarter of a dip on you, girl. Thank you. Okay. Great show, isn't it? Hey, okay. Hey, Leroy.
Hey.
Super chat.
Playtime's over, boy.
See, we got to do our own. This makeshift here. Great show, you all. Thank you for joining us, Roderick. You always here supporting your girl. I'm massive.
Okay.
But Chan, everybody, real quick. I just checked on Twitter. Guess who's calling out Subaru Matias?
Oh boy.
Regis Prograde.
Really?
He said, "I'll beat the shit out of this dude."
Oh god.
Prograde's been like really.
That's a good. Hey, that's a good fight. That's a real good fight.
When's the last time he fought?
He fought Ivan Redcatch last summer, I think.
Was it last summer?
Yeah, on the triple card. Yeah,
Redcatch. Yeah, I remember.
Redcatch faked the nut shot in the 6th round to get out of the fight. So.
I got a question for the panel because I know that I came in late and stuff like that. But
yeah,
how many of you, when you saw the Fight Hype interview with Gary, how many of you like when had that cockeyed look on your face? Like, what fight were you at?
Was that the one he said he won 10-2?
We won 10-2, Ro, that one.
Yeah, that one.
The Teofimo moment.
That's right. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Man said he won 10 rounds to 2, 9 rounds to 3.
Yeah.
Where is it? Fight Hype. Let me see.
No, that's exactly what he said. 10 rounds to 2 at best, 9 rounds to
3 at the most.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, it's just delusions of grandeur. Here we go. Hang on. Let's have a look at this. Shouts out to Fight Hype. And they're called.
He need to get Shorty at his vocabulary. It's just getting annoying when he keeps saying that.
I don't know why he did all that shit.
Shorty. What's up, Shorty?
It's crazy.
There you go. 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 There you go Oh boy.
He looks depressed.
He looks high.
Yeah.
Gary will be okay.
Hey,
That's
Slim,
my dude.
I ain't gonna hold y'all. Politics is a bad motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I beat that boy. No, I beat that boy at least 10 rounds to 2, 9 to 3, man. Man, took old boy to school, man. I don't know, man. It is what it is, man. I just wanted to come on here and show y'all some love, man. To the real supporters, you know what I'm saying? To the real fans, man. I appreciate it. Y'all seen what it was, man. They been trying to get a nigga out the way, I guess. I don't know. But it is what it is, man. To the fans, man, I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm a true dog at the end of the day, though. I been fucked my arm up like 2 weeks before the camp. You know what I'm saying? We put the work in, still fought, and to be honest with you, I outclassed them, outschooled them, outboxed them with one motherfucking arm, man. One arm, I got a whole torn tendon in my shit, man. This shit mean, man. To the fans, I appreciate the love, appreciate the support. Y'all know what time it is, man. Stay tuned, man. Stay tuned. Appreciate y'all, man.
Don't worry, they'll feed you to Chris. They'll feed you to Chris soon enough. It's okay. It's all right. So
I can't listen, Lady Chan. Lady Chan, I hope you don't mind my saying. Listen, I did a video on this, and I broke down his interview with Fight Hype. So I really, when I saw that, because I watched the fight and I scored the fight, and I was being as fair as possible because I had no dog in the race. I just wanted to see a good fight.
What did
And for the most part, he did give a good fight. My thing is what he said and what reality is. You know, I had to do a video, and I haven't done very many boxing videos lately, but yeah, I know. Just God, what planet is this guy on? What drugs is he on? I'd like to share because that that shit sound it sounds like it's a good drug.
What did you score the fight?
I scored the fight. I had to because there was 2 rounds. I had 2 rounds that I called dead even. So instead of giving them both 9 points, I gave them both 10 points. So at the end of the fight, I had a score of 117-114 in Max Howard's favor. You know, but that's how I had it. I also scored it by rounds, and I had it 8 rounds to 4.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I thought Gary Russell Jr. won. I know I had it 7-5. Sorry, I did.
Oh really?
But I was cool.
Watch.
But I was cool with a draw or Magsayo winning as well. So it was close. It was just close. But yeah, rewatch is definitely has to be done with that. What was Blue?
I will rewatch it, but yeah, that's how I ended up scoring. I don't see where he gets 10 rounds and 9 rounds.
No, I don't know where he gets 9 rounds to 3 and 10 rounds to 2. I don't know where he got that either. Blue Blood was saying about Russell's ring generalship making the guy miss shots. Like he should have been given a decision because he was a champ, if he's LDC PT or not. No, I agree that he was making his ring generalship was better than Magsayo. And he was making Magsayo still like miss. Like Gary is mad slick.
And there's no doubting that. There's no denying that. But slickness don't get you the win, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. I'm just giving him props. I think I can give him props, and I could say it was silly to go in there with an arm injury. You shouldn't have went in there. I mean, it's not like you was the most active geezer anyway. So to just to put the fight back a couple of months or 4 months or 5 months wouldn't have harmed you. It is a title defense at the end of the day. But I mean, yeah, that I could see the pros and cons, but with someone with an injury, did he make Magsayo still look not that great? Yeah, he did. Yep. So I believe if he had his right arm, he would have beat Magsayo.
Yeah, easily. He would have easily beat him.
I believe it would have been a different fight. I do believe it would have been a different fight. But at the end of the day, though, he went in there. He chose to go in there. You know, and he was fighting fine up until he was fighting fine. Well, let me not say he was fighting fine. I had Magsayo the first 4 rounds, the first 3 rounds, and then I gave round 4 to to Gary, and after round 6, after round 7, because after round 7 is when Max Siles, cut down his punching productivity down by half, and he didn't execute on certain signs of Gary being stunned. He didn't execute on that shit, and Gary still got rounds later on.
Mm-hmm.
So he was able to do that. So if he had both arms, we would have had a different fight.
Yeah,
he chose to go in there. So I'm not giving no passes for that.
And Magsayo ain't having that belt for long, He might be in
not if he fights like that.
He might be in the Buster Douglas camp, like, one and done on first title defense, he gets swiped.
Yeah.
Listen,
he's not great, mate.
That depends on who he fights next. I mean,
how many times I gotta say?
Yeah, that's true.
How many times I gotta say? Don't mention Buster Douglas in my presence. I'm not over that yet. Can we never do that?
Sorry. Yeah, you've had like 30. You've had like how many years have you had to get over that? 30 years?
What's the 30 years, bro?
God damn.
It's still too soon.
You've had 30 years. They're winning now.
Fine. Buster's okay. Buster's fine. He's okay.
I know though. Yeah, it was traumatizing, I guess it was. But I mean, where does Gary go from here? LOC says. I mean, I think Gary can Gary should go to 130. That's where Gary needs to go.
He does. I'm
telling you, like, they'll give him to Chris Colbert.
Yeah, Chris Colbert.
They're going to give him to Chris Colbert.
Chris Colbert. I don't see Shakur having to fight him. What for? Shakur's a champion. He's going to be fighting Oscar Valdez. Hopefully takes that belt off of Valdez, unifies that. Valdez, kick him to the side with his drug cheating ass. Keep it pushing. I believe that Shakur could actually be undisputed at 30. So
I believe so too.
So,
I mean, but Chen, you know what's going to happen with Shakur? Okay, so he'll beat Valdez. Then who has the other belts on the other side of the street? Let's see. Ogawa is on Matchroom. He's got the IBF. That fight might happen, but it's probably not likely. But then if he can't get other fights, he'll probably just move up to 135 and fight Loma.
Gary at 135, can he make 35? Is 35 good? Like,
no. I'm sorry. I was talking about Shakur. My bad. I was talking about Shakur. Yeah.
Oh, Shakur. Yeah. Gary's next move needs to be against Crawford. Ooh, Bud Crawford, Tony. Tony, you are bugging.
Tony, you know Crawford. You know Bud will kill that dude. You know Bud will kill Gary, bro. Come on, Tony.
Oh, okay. It's Lock. Yeah, okay, I get you. It's Lock, not LOC, LadyChann. Yeah, I know, Lock. Sorry. I just thought because you never... Yeah, my bad. I just thought because it's never usually spelt that way, LOCK is Lock, so I just thought you was like an acronym. My bad, Lock. Lock is in the buildism. Thank you for correcting me. I won't get it wrong now. Yeah, I just think Buster Douglas, what did you say? Buster Douglas, people have been to school, college, university, and got married with 2 kids and still not over it, bro. And you're still not over it, bro.
Yes, that's right. I'm still not over it. God damn it!
No.
Jed, I was 1 when that fight happened. I was 1,
and I refuse to let you go.
I was 1 year old. I was a 1 year old when that fight happened, man.
We need that soundbite now. Yeah, well, yeah, and maybe you didn't. Yeah, because there was no grasping. Didn't have to let too much go. But I mean, damn, Jed. Yeah, you gotta let it go, bud. You gotta let it go.
It's stuck there, man. It won't go away. I can't.
I wouldn't be a true friend if I didn't try and let that shit go, bro. Bars.
I think a better comparison would have been to Teofimo Lopez. Both of them beat a
as well. It's the same
with one arm. He getting the belts, like he losing it next fight for sure.
Yeah.
No, somebody put it correctly the other day. That belt, that franchise belt is cursed. Somebody said
it's fucking cursed. You see, George Camboso's acting a total arse. He's acting exactly how Teofimo Lopez was acting when he had the belt.
I think that somebody was saying that belt was cursed, and that if Cambosos loses to whoever he's gonna fight, it's that belt that's cursed.
It's cursed.
It's got to be.
It's got some Mayan curse on it.
I don't want you guys taking the credit away from the fighter who wins.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. I know.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm like, dude, how come when people get their hands with on this designation, that they just turn into arseholes? Or they start by like, I'm not undisputed. George Kambosos now, he is undisputed in his eyes.
He ain't.
I'm like, dude, you just said you wasn't when you won that belt. And you was just talking, I've just had enough. Like, Haney is basically saying, I'll fight you anytime, any place, anywhere. I'll take my jabs. I'll come to Australia. The dude's still...
What is taking so long for that fight to get done? I mean, what are they waiting on?
George Kambosos, he hasn't picked who he wants to fight. And, you've got Bob Fossil-Aram trying to sell the Loma fight. Why should he fight Loma if he really wants to do undisputed and there's someone with him? Because this is what I'm saying. Because in his mind now, Kambosos thinks he is undisputed and he doesn't need to do the Devin Haney fight.
He's already undisputed, so why would he care about Haney?
Yes.
Honestly, I don't mind the Loma fight because I think Loma will fight Haney after. Loma isn't one to just let things go.
Well, Loma didn't fight Haney the last time. That's why he left.
No. Unfortunately, Bob Arum made that decision for him. He didn't even realize that stuff at the time.
But he knew he was relinquishing.
He didn't realize that it wouldn't count.
But you got to call what's right. You know,
he wasn't fighting Haney.
Out of all the boxers, Haney's the one that deserves a shot. First of all, he's a champion. He has defended that belt. I am not a Haney fan. Let's get that straight. Not a Haney fan at all. But what's right is right.
Right.
Haney deserves a shot at that belt, at those belts.
Yeah.
He's the one and only person that deserves the next shot at Kambosos. I'm actually a Loma fan, but Haney deserves that shot.
Yeah, Loma had a shot. He had a shot already. He's had the belts. He's had a shot. He came up short. So now,
he came up short. Don't try and get back in and butt yourself back in and just wait. I would like to see them all fight, but at the end of the day, Loma did have his chance and his opportunity. But what I will say on the flip side, Devin Haney, very uncouth on the Gary Russell Jr. loss straight away. Didn't like all of that. What I saw.
I didn't like that either. I don't
like that. What did I miss? What did I miss?
Like I missed you got beaten by a bum. And then he did an interview with Fight Hype, innit? And he was like, look at you. Like, when did I win the championship? Well, if truth be known, you didn't ever win it. If you want to be picked. Because the next time you get in the ring, what will happen is you don't have your guts for guys. What happened when you lose?
Hello.
Your karma will slap you in your face.
Chan, he'll get destroyed if he loses. People are going to tear his ass apart.
It was just very uncouth. And
I gotta find that video. I'm gonna find
I'll play it. And Bill Haney and Bill
because I'm gonna edit it because I'm gonna do a video response to it because that's got to be a video done by me.
I don't know. It's on. He put that on Twitter. That's what he tweeted that. He didn't say it. So.
No, and then there's the interview that he did straight after the fight.
Oh, he did. Oh, they did it. Oh, okay, I missed that.
Just briefly, while you grab the video, I just say I disagree that I think Loma shouldn't get another shot because there's only an undisputed because Loma went around collecting belts and putting them together. But I know you all
gave them all away as well. So
he did, but he's the only one fighting anyone.
No, he's not. No, he's not. Devin Haney's still fighting.
Yeah, he's still fighting.
He's the only one fighing top 5 people. No one else.
He's like 10 years older than them. He should be fighting top people.
Well, I'm not going to take that away from him. Just so you know, I disagree. I'm not.
That's fine. No, that's fine.
That's cool.
Devin Haney on.
Hector Garcia says Loma's trash. Okay, right.
Okay. No, he's not.
Loma's not. Okay, whatever.
According to Hector Garcia, he is. So.
Hector Garcia.
Hey, Hector.
Is he trolling?
That's his he's entitled to his opinion.
Okay, whatever.
Okay. Let's have a look at this.
Not everybody like Loma.
Yeah, not everyone likes Loma. They don't have to either.
Major Key, what's up, brother?
Major Key in the building. Here it is. And I refuse to let
Major Key.
Oh, hello. Yeah.
That's an old song right there. Ain't too proud to beg.
Oh, he did tweet that. Look at that shit. Oh, we just say that he wasn't ranked 68, though. Just saying.
Year did Gary Russell become champion?
2015. He knocked out Johnny Gonzalez.
What year did I turn pro?
2016, I think.
Been champion longer than I've been pro.
You like the fight, Devin?
Of course. I mean, I feel like it's a good fight for me. I've been calling out the top guys, but time and time again, finally we get a big name if he takes a fight. I just think that he's full of cap, that he really doesn't want to fight. We shall see in the next day or so, because it shouldn't take that long to sign a contract. You know, everything that he asked for, we gave to him, so it shouldn't be much to go over. You know, everything that he asked for is in the contract, and it should be easy. He could have been signed it already. That's why I think that he's just full of cap, and he's doing it for attention. But we just got to see, you know.
What did you think when he originally started calling out these guys bigger than him, first Crawford, then you? What did you think about that when? Because it seems to come out of nowhere. It's so rare that a guy would call out dudes 2-4 weight classes above. What did you think about it when it started?
It's cap. I think that is cap. That's why I call him Mr. Cap, because it seems like up to this point, all he did was cap. You know? But we just got to see. At this point, we're going to see if he actually takes a fight or.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's why Tony said so. He called out Crawford. Sorry, my bad, Tony, because I didn't know he did.
Oh, you didn't know he did?
No, I didn't know he called out Crawford.
Oh yeah, this was
last year and a half ago.
During the pandemic. Yeah, he was calling him out, talking about like he'll go up to 147 to fight him because he talked about he broke Crawford's jaw when they was amateurs and stuff like that. Then a lot of people who was amateurs with him came out in defense saying like, yeah, you sucker punch Crawford. That's true, but you sucker punched him, and he pretty much defended Bud more or less and tried to tell the truth.
Yeah.
And then Bud himself came out saying that he'll break Gary's neck for on his kids. Oh, he pissed off, Bud. He I've been trying to find that one. I've been trying to find that one. Hold on.
I remember very well.
Yeah. Let me see.
Yeah.
And that's when they was trying to make that fight here online with Devin and Gary Russell.
Yeah, Devin doesn't need to be tweeting all of that on Twitter. Put down your phone, mate. Yeah, it doesn't need to.
I think it's a really bad attitude to have. For a start, you're calling another. He calls another guy a bum, and then he said how you got beat by one. I mean, the guy had one arm. Come on, like, are you serious? You wait till Devin gets one arm. And
Gary Russell Jr. would beat Devin, in my opinion. So
this is the sort of attitude which Teofimo had, similar sort of attitude, and look what happened to him. Like, stop getting on Twitter and start staying in the gym, man.
Yeah, exactly. Jed, you have to go. You gotta go.
Yeah, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, everybody. God bless.
All right, Jed.
Thanks for coming through, Jed. Thank you.
All right, take care, Electro Jed.
Yeah, it's just bad. It's just it's not good etiquette.
I found that interview. I found that clip with Bud.
Hola, mi hermano. Go ahead.
I was saying I found that clip with Bud. I can send it to you now. I can send it to you on a private chat. Depending on which one.
Okay. He said, no, I don't even want to see it. You know what? Okay. I don't care. I don't even care. Just to know that he did it, because I just thought this is just silly to even do that. Dude, you are not going to 47.
Nobody took him seriously at all.
No one's coming to meet you. So that's why you're getting clowned. And then you're doing the Teofimo stuff. Oh, I beat him 9 rounds to 3. You not being a good sportsman either. You could say, I thought I did well with my one arm and that. But if shoulda, coulda, woulda and stuff, you've got to just drop it out.
I think he did really well for one arm. But
he
some
did.
rounds, according to CompuBox, though, some rounds he did he landed 2 punches. You ain't winning a round with 2 punches, no matter how slick you are.
Like, damn. Damn.
And a few other rounds, 4 punches, 4 punches, 4 punches, 5 punches. He ain't winning that fight with.
Why
I mean,
did
he did
put
good
himself
with.
so much of a disadvantage going? Is it that he needed money? Because why couldn't he? If it would have gone, he could have dropped out before the 4th round, before the 5th round, and it would have been like a no contest. Would he have not got paid?
No, it has to have. The doctor would have had to have called it out, right? And
Yeah,
then
well,
it would
he
have
could have
gone.
just said, I can't throw it.
That's when he got the injury after 4 rounds. So he could have
Yeah,
just,
so
right.
he
Yeah.
should have just dropped out. But I'm
no, I
thinking to
think
myself, would he
it-
have got? Would he
it
have
has
not
to
got
be-
the paycheck?
It was after 4. It was after 4.
It has to
No,
be.
it was 4th
It
round,
has
3rd
to
or
be
4th round.
accidental for them to go to the scorecards.
No, it doesn't, because the doctor already checked him when he
after
had
4 rounds.
the injury.
It was
He
after
could
4
have-
rounds. They were looking
the
at him.
doctor said, "Do you still want to continue?" And Gary Russell Jr. said, "I want to continue." He didn't have to.
But it was an accidental headbutt, so I think if he forfeits, it just goes to the other person. Like Vitali
No,
had
it
to
doesn't.
give up.
It doesn't. It only goes to the other person after the 5th, from 5 rounds up. They said it in the rules. No three knockdown rule. The ref can't. The bell. You can't be saved by the bell. It showed you the rules at the beginning of the fight.
It wasn't ruled accidental. Him getting damaged was from a punch, so it can't be then going to the scorecards, I believe. Anyway, I could be wrong, but that's what I believe.
No, you're wrong.
Okay.
No, you're wrong, because that's why the doctor checked. If they didn't, there's no point of having the doctor check about the shoulder. It'd be like, we don't need to.
I remember Matvey Korobov fought Chris Eubank Jr. And like he got an injury after the 2nd round. Then it was no wait, hold on, that was a TKO win for Chris Eubank. Okay, that was weird.
It goes to the other person, I think, because Vitali had the same thing. The doctor called off his shoulder rotator injury, and it went to Chris Bird.
If it goes over from, you guys are not listening, if it's from the 5th round onwards.
5th round on, yeah. That was past 4. Yeah, that was past 4
Yeah.
for the Vitali win. Yeah.
If it's before 5 rounds, it goes
to
a no contest.
Okay,
yeah. So what I'm saying is, if he let it go to no contest, would maybe the rules would have been he wouldn't have got his purse, or I don't know, because I'm just wondering why
they just still paid.
Did all that, man. He didn't need to, because he could have still had his belt. And you know that you're getting on people's nerves. You're getting on people's nerves. Rolling with the punches. Thank you, Rolling in the building. You know that the PBC, who you've rubbed up the wrong way, your staple, you've pissed them off, and you're just giving them more stuff to just get your ass out of there. You didn't even put your best foot forward. I just really don't understand it, unless it was just because Gary Russell Jr. hasn't fought for nearly 3 years, and maybe money's running out. His dad's had an injury. You got to pay some of those medical bills. You got to sustain your lifestyle. That's the only reason that I thought that he's saying he's had that injury since 2008. Now, if I see you move up to 130, Gary, and you ain't had an operation in between time, then I'm going to have to call you Mr. Cap with Devin Haney. Because, you're moving up to, what you need to do is sort out the shoulder, then move to 130 or whatever. Sort out the shoulder, and if you're staying at 26, you're staying at 26. Don't know why. But don't let me see you at 130 without that, because you can't keep going fight by fight. Maybe that's the real reason of his inactivity. His shoulder.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Also, Gary said he only spars when he has a fight coming up.
So anyway, why don't you fix the shoulder? Yeah. Why aren't you fixing it then? I don't understand. I really don't understand. How long?
I don't either.
You've had that for 12 years, my G. It's getting worse and worse, and that's why you've held up the division. See, when I look at things that way, I had to get you out. You're just holding up shit. Sorry, you are. Magsa, and you let yourself lose. You let your belt go to someone that really wasn't even great.
That good. I mean, Magsa was a limited fighter. He is. Sorry.
Yeah. Like, you can't rewind that, and you can't delete that from the records. Like, no, I'm not. You can. Well, who you gonna troll?
As a matter of fact, like I think Lyndon Arthur injured his hand in the first Anthony Yarde fight, but he still won that fight with a jab.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah,
so yeah.
Maybe he still had his, but remember he's not a southpaw.
No, of course, yeah, of course.
So he still can use his he can still use his left to jab. Yeah, Yeah, why wasn't it operated on months before the fight? Year before the fight.
Probably
2
pride.
years before the fight.
Pride, his ego, all that.
You've
Probably thought he could beat him.
You've had fair time to get that sorted out.
That's the same problem Loma had going into the Teofimo fight. You know, like he knew his shoulder was injured, but and his dad said he should postpone the fight, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Hubris.
Yeah.
He believes he can win anyway.
Yeah, that's probably what Gary thought.
Maybe that's what. Yeah, Tank broke his hand and won. Well, he didn't break it. It was just extreme bruising, but it was. Yeah, it was.
Well, some people thought he didn't win. Some people said Isaac winning.
Yeah, well, yeah. Some people, that was debatable as well. So, yeah, that was another close fight. That was another one. So
Tank
some
didn't
people
go into the fight already injured. Though.
But he didn't go into
the fight.
This is purely Gary's fault, and in Loma's case, Loma's fault.
Yeah, going in there with their shoulder injuries and then, but at least, all right, Loma went and got his shoulder sorted out straight after.
Yep.
Like, he shouldn't have went in with it, but he went out. Gary, you're admitting that you've had that since 2008. So why haven't you it looks more bad on you. 2008, that's ages ago.
I mean, and it's Loma. He was able to admit. I mean, one of his documents, Loma was able to admit that he at least got a draw in the Teofimo
14
fight.
years ago. Yeah, at least Loma could say, yeah, But 14 years ago now, Gary, you're harboring this shoulder injury for the last 14 years. Yeah, doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. It sounds too Teofimo-ish, and then you're coming with the I won 9-3. Just doesn't look good.
You'll know I beat that kid.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. You should have just took that a bit graceful. Just take it graceful and be like, the guy will be back. Shouts out to Magsire, I'll be back anyway. Sort this shit out, and I'm gone. But you keep talking, and you keep digging yourself the grave. And they're quite cool to put you in the coffin and put the dirt.
How much more does he have left, really? I mean, he's getting older, So.
Yeah, I think he's got maybe 2-3 more years to go because he's still slick. I couldn't really criticize anything on with it. I couldn't say, oh, he looks like he's mad slow now. Oh, he looks really out of shape. Oh, his engine looks bad. Oh, I couldn't.
I think it helped. I think it helped that Magsire was limited already to begin with. So I think that's
but Magsire. Yeah, but remember that Gary's that's still 26-year-old power puncher.
Yeah, he was still slick. Gary was still slick.
Didn't lose a step. Didn't lose a beat. But yeah, maybe if it was a better boxer that had better ring generalship and ring IQ,
I'd say like maybe a Devin or Shakur, he would have struggled a lot more with those guys.
Oh yeah, he would have struggled. He would have. He definitely would have. Yeah, he definitely would have struggled. Yeah, with that. But yeah, I don't get it, man. He came into the fight hurt, and it's just, yeah, he did. It's didn't beat. No, these guys are debating who won Pitbull and Tank, but yeah. So I don't know. I don't get it, guys. But salute to Gary Russell Jr. Salute to Mark Magsayo, and yeah, we'll see where they go from there. We definitely maybe have to do a rewatch.
Definitely.
I don't know if it'll be what's tomorrow? Tuesday. I know Monday's come quick.
When's our next one? We haven't done one in a while.
I haven't done one in a while, mate, because I get into my groove on my Sundays and I just.
Oh no, so do I. That's why I'm not even mad. I'm not
But I definitely. What we could do. Let me schedule a rewatch. Will be either.
I mean, if not a Sunday, we could do it on a weekday or something.
Yeah, I've done them on the weekdays, and which is I did the Joshua Usyk one the next day after the fight.
Yeah, the very next day, yeah. So.
Yeah, I did that. We did that very next day, so I could do that tomorrow and see how many rounds.
But Chad, I'm even mad at you on Sundays. I mean, I'm lazy on Sundays too, so I'm not.
Yeah, we'd be lazy, but I do like doing them on Sundays. But yeah, but sometimes when it's something that you want a quick turnaround, you could do it. You could do it. Could do it tomorrow. You could do it Wednesday. So stand by, guys, with the community tab, and then we'll see when that is. So just going to be wrapping up because it is 1 a.m. for me, and I'm a little thing, and I haven't really eaten, to be fair, so I do need to eat some food. I've had some potato chips, not the greatest. And yeah, and I want to thank everybody for coming through. in the building. Let me just shout out everybody that came through. TJ, you was in the building. Slim Reaper, Ghost in the building. Hector Garcia, mi hermano, in the building. Roderick, Freelo in the building. Slim Reaper, I did say you. Rolling with the punches in the building. Santos, thank you for joining me. Major Key Boxing was in the building. Thank you for joining me, Major. I think Major will be going live later anyway, so I guess tap into Major Key Boxing. Puro Sur Central in the building. My South Central California. That's California, right, AJ? In the building. South Central. AJ? No? AJ disappeared. AJ like, whatever.
Yeah, it's California.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
Southern California.
I was
Yeah.
muted, my bad. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Right, that's correct.
Yeah. Haplo was in the building. Thank you, Haplo, for joining us. Who else was there? You guys are going back and back, forth and forth. Same names. Puro Sur Central. Tony's review. Thank you. You was in the building. Thank you for coming through. Locke, you was in the building. Gugura. Thank you. You was in the
wishes to Tony.
building.
He hasn't been feeling well, by the way.
Bill Dizzin. Huh?
Well wishes to Tony. He hasn't been feeling well. He's got a
shouts out to Tony, with the C19 crew in the building. I was in that building, and it's not the best building to be in, but you be all right. See, I'm all right. You be all right too. Yeah. You be all right. TK in the building. Thank you for joining me. Paul Young was through and through. We had the Fury fanboy cocksuckers were in the building. Thank you for joining. Every view is a view. So you guys were here in the building. Who else was here? Paul Evans was in the building. Thank you for the super chats that did come through. Gosh, it's the same names. Is you guys just talking and battling with yourselves? Yeah, I think so. Because I haven't seen... D-Ray Promotions was in the building. Stuart E. Dowes, you was in the building. Danny Yamad was in the building. Sammy Ali was in the building. New Media Today USA Boxing was in the building. Lance Meyer, thank you for coming through. Charlo, thank you for coming. Thanks, Charlo. King Charlo was in the building. Black and Brown Boxing, he was in the building. Thank you for coming, Black and Brown. Who else was in the building? Who else? Devil Beats, thank you. You was in the building. New stuff coming muy pronto. Don't worry. Yep. Yeah, that's be coming soon on the music level. Thank you for asking for your inquiry. Donald Banks, thank you. And thank you for your super chat as well. Thank you, Ghost. Thank you, Fish. Thank you. Wayne, thank you for coming through. King KO, thank you for coming through. Me and King KO was on Bernie the Boxer's live the other day, weren't we, King KO? It's like, yeah. We had a good old time over there. It's cold. It's cold winter in the building. Thank you for coming through, guys. There was loads of you. I'd like to thank the panel members, Kenny Ken, New Media Today USA Boxing, AJ All Day, my sister Lisa Buzales, Jed, Gredax, who else was on? South Londoner, you was in the building as well. Who else was here?
Electro Jet.
Yeah, just said that. Who else was here?
Shout out to Coach Malachi.
Yep, already said that.
I said that. Yep.
That was it. I think that was on the panel. Yeah, and you,
Kenny Ken.
Yep, already said that. Okay. So that was everybody. Guys, you have been amazing. So, you know what we do. You have to sign out. Anyway, I'm gone. Hey, girl, it's LadyChann, rep nonetheless. Come box with Shan. Gone. LadyChann is left the bill. Dizzy. Gone. LadyChann.